My husband and I are originally from Los Angeles. He's a congregational rabbi, now retired. And while I was working in Japan in the late 80s, he had a phone call asking if he would officiate at the funeral of somebody that wasn't a member of the congregation, and met this woman, and she was charmed by him, and he officiated at her husband's funeral. And she invited him to dinner, and he said, well, my fiance is coming back from Japan. Would you mind if it was the three of us? And on Sunday evenings, she had a particular restaurant in Los Angeles, which she would go to, Trader Vic's. And we were part of the Trader Vic's Sunday night dinner event.
Now, have you ever had an appraisal done on the bracelet or the ring?
Just on the bracelet. And at the time in the early 2000s, I think they said it might have been 10 grand. But I've never had the ring appraised.
In the quiet luxury of the 1940s, interestingly, at the heart of this pairing stands a creation by Van Cleef and Arpels, the celebrated Parisian house founded by Alfred Van Cleef and Estelle Arpels, a maison renowned for turning jewelry into poetry. Built on a vision of refinement and innovation, the house became legendary for transforming precious materials into floating, delicate forms that seemed almost weightless. Their workshops were guided by a single belief, that true luxury lives in invisible engineering and visible beauty. This ring reflects this philosophy through its use of cultured pearls, chosen for their soft glow and flawless surface. Unlike natural pearls of earlier centuries, cultured pearls represented a new era of controlled beauty, where nature and human skill work together. Each pearl is carefully selected to create harmony in tone, size, and luster, and then delicately mounted to preserve its natural radiance. Surrounding the pearls are pave-set diamonds, each tiny stone held in place by minute metal beads. This technique requires the steady hand of a master, as every bead is raised and shaped individually to secure the stones without interrupting the surface's sparkle. The result is a shimmering field of light, a testament to the house's brilliance in precision and design. Together, the diamond bracelet and the Van Cleef and Arpels ring capture a timeless vision of elegance. They stand as living expressions of extraordinary craftsmanship, chosen materials, and artistic devotion, and they continue to speak of beauty, balance, and brilliance, shining as luminous symbols of history shaped in gold, pearl, and diamond.
If the ring came up for sale,
Yes, sir.
I feel very strongly for it at auction at $20,000 to $30,000.
As Shirley Temple would say, oh my goodness. Wow.
And it's the kind of thing I think would get to the high end of the estimate pretty quick, because Van Cleef is very sought after. If I was doing this for insurance replacement value, I believe you'd have to put the bracelet at $35,000.
Wow, amazing.
But the ring, because it's Van Cleef, for insurance replacement, would probably be close to the $60,000.
Oh my goodness.
My parents' first landlord, Joe and Dorothy Pick, Joe owned Club Madrid, which was, I don't want to say a speakeasy, but it was a club. It catered to professional football players. It catered to gangsters. Al Capone was there. It had some black market booze at the time. It also had some gambling. Hattie McDaniel, who was part of the Gone with the Wind cast, she got her start there singing as well. But my parents' first landlord, they owned the club, and so what happened was, as gangsters and people who would come through there need a little bit of money, they'd come up to Joe Pick and ask for them to purchase their particular, whether it was jewelry or whatever. And so Joe bought this set for his wife, Dorothy.
Between the 1920s and 1930s, jewelry entered a bold new chapter, embracing cleaner lines, lighter forms, and a fresh love for color. Designers move away from heavy romantic styles and turn toward modern elegance, creating pieces that feel wearable, confident, and visually striking. This era becomes a moment of artistic freedom and technical growth, where craftsmanship begins to mirror the changing spirit of the world. This parure emerges as a proud example of American craftsmanship, shaped by innovation and independence. Rather than following rigid European traditions, American jewelers favor practical beauty, balanced proportions, and designs that feel natural on the body while still commanding attention. Every element of this set carries the marks of hands that shape, twist, and refine metal with deliberate care. The stones are carefully matched so that their tones flow seamlessly across the necklace, bracelet, earrings, and rings, creating a unified rhythm of color and light. Their rich hue brings warmth and harmony, tying every piece together in quiet brilliance. The story deepens through the metalwork, where open links are formed with hand-twisted gold wires. Each twist is shaped by skilled fingers, giving the structure movement, texture, and subtle complexity, while preserving the clean elegance that defines the spirit of the era. The gold seems to breathe and flow, echoing the rhythm of the stones it supports. Specifically, along the side of the ring, delicate leaf motifs are stamped from thin sheets of gold, balancing efficiency with artistry. These small leaves add a gentle, decorative touch, showing how beauty in this time grows from restraint rather than excess. The stamped forms stand as subtle signatures of thoughtful workmanship and refined design. Now the necklace, bracelet, earrings, and rings come together as a living harmony of color, texture, and form. The Brazilian amethysts glow beside the hand-twisted gold and softly stamped leaves, forming a parure that stands as a timeless expression of elegance, unity, and quiet brilliance. The set exists not only as jewelry, but as a continuing celebration of early 20th century American artistry.
I would say that at auction this would be $4,000 to $6,000.
Really?
Really.
Wow, that's excellent. It really is.
These were my grandmother's. My grandfather was a jeweler in Chicago, and these are a couple of pieces that she had. And when she passed away, they went to my mom about 10 or 12 years ago. My sister and I went through some of the things that were my grandmother's, and I ended up with the watch, and my sister and I sort of share the ring.
Do you wear either one of them?
I actually do wear the watch quite a bit. When I first came to me, I took it to get the watch fixed because it wasn't working, but the ring is too big for me.
Okay, well, the ring is a lot of ring.
Yes.
But the watch is wearable, and I see why you like to wear it. It's streamlined and lovely and feminine. It dates to around 1950, although I can see why they might have been worn together. They kind of speak to that same Art Deco aesthetic.
The Art Deco period, spanning the 1920s and 1930s, brought a revolution in jewelry design. Defined by geometric forms, clean lines, and symmetry, the style balanced elegance with modernity. Jewelers combined precious metals and gemstones in innovative ways, creating pieces that were both decorative and timeless, where artistry met technical precision. Watches from this era were more than instruments for time. They were statements of style and luxury. Diamond-set watches, in particular, showcased meticulous craftsmanship, with each stone carefully selected, cut, and positioned to maximize brilliance while maintaining perfect proportion and function. Every detail, from case to clasp, reflected the jeweler's dedication to precision. This diamond watch exemplifies Art Deco aesthetics through its baguette-cut stones set in platinum. The straight lines and angular arrangement of the diamonds create an architectural elegance, while the cool, reflective platinum enhances sparkle and allows for precise, linear construction. The result is a piece both strong and graceful, marrying geometry with brilliance. In contrast, the accompanying ring highlights a different facet of late Art Deco taste. Its cabochon star sapphire, smooth and polished, glows subtly under light. Large, striking gemstones were popular for rings in this period, and the cabochon cut emphasized the stone's natural optical effects rather than complex faceting. The sapphire is remarkable for its six-pointed star, a phenomenon called asterism. Light interacting with tiny inclusions creates a luminous star that appears to float across the surface. As the ring moves, the star shifts, revealing the jeweler's skill in selecting and setting the gem to maximize its visual impact and elegance. Together, the diamond watch and star sapphire ring capture the dual spirit of Art Deco. One embodies precision, geometry, and architectural clarity. The other celebrates natural optical beauty. Both stand as enduring testaments to craftsmanship, innovation, and the timeless allure of finely made jewelry.
If either one of these things were to come to auction, in the case of the watch, I would give it an estimate in the neighborhood of $5,000 to $7,000.
Wow.
And in the case of the ring, I'd give it an estimate in the neighborhood of $8,000 to $10,000.
Oh my God, wow, that's incredible.
Well, this ring belonged in our family several generations back, and it was willed to me by my aunt.
Well, as you can see, it's a beautiful, beautiful design. It's Art Deco, 1925 approximately, and they've designed it in an octagonal format to mirror the shape of the stone in the center.
In the 1920s, the octagonal format emerged as one of the most defining features of Art Deco diamond rings, admired for its sharp geometry, perfect symmetry, and architectural strength. This powerful design reflected the era's fascination with structure and modernity, as jewelers created bold metal frameworks where every angle was planned with exact precision, giving each ring a clean, confident, and highly recognizable silhouette. Achieving this octagonal form required exceptional technical mastery. Jewelers carefully engineered the metal framework so that each side aligned flawlessly with the next, allowing the structure to feel both strong and visually balanced. This precision-driven shape became especially admired for the way it framed gemstones with clarity and order, giving the wearer a sense of strength, control, and bold elegance. In this particular ring, the surrounding diamonds are natural stones, selected for their authentic brilliance and lively sparkle. At the heart of the design sits a synthetic sapphire, a laboratory-created gemstone first developed in the late 19th century to reproduce the beauty of natural sapphire. This deliberate combination of natural and man-made stones reflects a fascinating moment in jewelry history. During this period, the use of synthetic gemstones was not viewed as deceptive, but rather as a celebration of scientific progress and innovation. Jewelers and clients alike admired these stones for their flawless appearance, structural stability, and perfect color, making them ideal for precise geometric designs. Their presence in fine jewelry symbolized confidence in modern technology and the future. Importantly, the synthetic center stone does not lessen the value of the ring. Instead, it enhances its historical narrative, capturing a time when craftsmanship and technological advancement began to intersect in meaningful ways. Collectors have long valued such pieces for their honesty, period accuracy, and representation of an era driven by progress and imagination. Today, this diamond and synthetic sapphire ring stands as a striking example of Art Deco ingenuity. It blends natural diamonds with scientific innovation and continues to embody the elegance, ambition, and architectural beauty that define one of the most influential design eras in jewelry history.
And the ring is worth about $4,000 to $5,000.
Oh my.
Does that surprise you?
Well, that I thought it was worth something, and I keep it mostly in the safety deposit box.
Well, one would have hoped if it were an 8-carat natural sapphire, it could have been worth 10 or 20 times that. But it's synthetic, which means it has the same chemical and physical and optical properties of a natural stone, but is man-made.
Well, I'm delighted to have it anyway.
I always thought it might be a poison ring because it opens up.
Show us how it opens. It's got a hinge and it closes tight and that's it. Okay, could you take it off and we'll put it down here? I think everybody has this conception that if a ring opens up and it's got a compartment, it's a poison ring.
In antiquity, poison rings first appeared as secretive objects of power, designed with hidden compartments that allowed the wearer to conceal toxic powders or liquids beneath hinged lids. Worn in times of political danger and royal intrigue, These rings quickly became associated with espionage, silent control, and the mysterious union of beauty and danger. Over centuries, their reputation grew, surrounding them with an awe of secrecy and authority. By the early 19th century, the purpose of these concealed spaces softened, and the idea of danger slowly gave way to emotion. Jewelers began creating rings with hidden chambers meant to hold locks of hair, miniature portraits, or handwritten notes. Rather than symbols of threat, these pieces evolved into intimate memorials, carrying love, mourning, and private devotion inside their delicate shells. This particular ring belongs to that later tradition and was created around the year 1830. Within its graceful form lies a carefully engineered hidden compartment that opens with subtle, precise movement. Its purpose is no longer to harm, but to protect memory, allowing the owner to keep a fragment of a loved one close, even when time and distance try to separate them. The creation of this piece demanded exceptional technical skill from the hands of master craftsmen. Tiny hinges, catches, and fitted lids had to be shaped with perfect accuracy, small enough to remain invisible when closed, yet strong enough to endure repeated use. Each mechanical element had to function flawlessly while preserving the illusion of a seamless and elegant surface. Adding to its refinement is the ring's enameled decoration, a process as fragile as it is beautiful. Powdered glass was carefully fused to the metal through controlled firing, creating permanent color that shimmered across the surface. Multiple firings were required, and the temperature had to be managed precisely so the enamel would not crack or interfere with the delicate mechanism hidden beneath. Today, this enameled compartment ring stands as a moving symbol of transformation in jewelry history. It speaks not of danger, but of memory, love, and quiet devotion, capturing human emotion in precious metal and glass. Its hidden chamber still represents the most private part of the human heart, preserved through craftsmanship and time.
Even though it's not a real poison ring, but a compartment ring, an enamel compartment ring like this today has a value of about $2,500 to $3,000 in the collector's market.
Wow! I inherited it. It was my great Aunt Hazel's. She brought it out of China in the 40s or 50s.
The piece was an exceptional example of Art Deco jewelry. Art Deco jewelry emerged in the 1920s and 1930s, celebrated for its geometric designs, clean lines, and luxurious materials. The movement was heavily influenced by the rapid industrialization of the era, modern art and architecture. Art Deco designers embraced symmetry, bold contrasts, and innovative use of gemstones, creating jewelry that was daring yet elegant. This period also saw the incorporation of exotic materials and cultural influences, including jade, onyx, and carved gemstones. Collectors consistently sought them for their blend of historical importance, artistry, and enduring style. The particular piece featured a 14-karat gold and diamond mounting combined with a recarved Chinese jadeite stone. Jadeite was one of the most prized gemstones in Chinese culture, celebrated for its vivid color, durability, and spiritual significance. In Chinese tradition, jadeite symbolized purity, protection, prosperity, and good fortune. The piece beautifully exemplified the fusion of cultures, craftsmanship, and enduring style that defined fine Art Deco jewelry.
At auction today, this ring would be worth in the $8,000 to $12,000 range.
Wow.
The diamond ring was made in the 1940s or early 1950s, reflecting the refined craftsmanship of mid-20th century fine jewelry. Platinum jewelry of this quality had long been prized for its strength, durability, and ability to showcase gemstones with maximum brilliance. By the early 20th century, platinum had become the preferred metal for fine jewelers because it showcased diamonds with maximum brilliance and crisp architectural lines. Diamonds themselves carried a deep and evolving cultural significance. For centuries, they had served as symbols of nobility, status, and spiritual protection, admired for their rarity and unmatched durability. The particular ring also featured 18 round, brilliant-cut diamonds encircling the band, weighing nearly 3 carats in total. The remarkable piece beautifully illustrated the enduring appeal and artistry of fine diamond jewelry.
A stone like this today at auction could be $150,000 to $200,000.
It is an engagement ring from my husband.
I hope you said yes, right?
Oh, yes, yes, I did.
Have you ever had the ring appraised before?
I have had the ring appraised, but the appraiser was uncertain about the actual price because of the origin. She was confusing it maybe with a Cartier and wasn't sure because of the markings. It was handed down from his great or grand Aunt Lottie.
The piece was an exceptional American engagement ring, crafted by lesser-known K&F Company and dating to circa 1920. This ring featured a 5-carat, fat pear-shaped diamond in an old European cut set in a refined Art Deco mounting. Art Deco jewelry of the 1920s and 1930s embraced a striking new aesthetic defined by strong geometry, clean architectural lines. Today, Art Deco pieces are highly collectible, especially those in platinum with high-quality diamonds or rare gemstones. Renowned jewelry houses such as Cartier, Van Cleef and Arpels, Tiffany & Co., and Boucheron were major contributors to the style. While the ring lacked the signature of a major house like Cartier, its provenance, design, and artistry made it rare.
It's not a white stone, but it's not really yellow. So it's hovering between white and yellow,
Yes.
but reading much more yellow, but not yellow.
Right.
But it makes that a very soft, sumptuous color. It's pale, it's alluring. It's almost like the woman in this
Yes.
photo.
This remarkable engagement ring beautifully embodied the elegance, sophistication, and enduring legacy of American Art Deco jewelry.
I think you're going to have to spend at least $55,000 to $65,000. I can't imagine.
This ring came from my great aunt Henrietta, and she traveled some. She was an artsy kind of person. She lived in Paris, France for a while, and you want to make kind of a story about the ring that maybe it came from Paris, but I don't know that for sure.
The piece was a French Art Nouveau ring, crafted in platinum and dating to circa 1910. Art Nouveau jewelry had been popular from the late 19th century to the early 20th century. It was celebrated for its flowing, organic lines, delicate craftsmanship, and inspiration from nature and the arts. Jewelers of the Art Nouveau period favored materials for their artistic effect rather than their intrinsic value. Pieces often featured enamel work, moonstones, opals, horn, carved glass, and semi-precious stones, all chosen for their color and translucency. Art Nouveau jewelry remained highly collectible because of its rarity, innovative techniques, and unmistakable aesthetic. This ring featured a natural button pearl, approximately 5 millimeters in size, surrounded by finely set diamonds.
It does seem to have a replace shank to it. The hoop would have been marked with the French platinum marks. It's got a natural pearl in the middle and diamonds.
Natural pearls of this quality were rare and highly valued. The ring beautifully embodied the elegance and artistic spirit of French Art Nouveau jewelry.
We would give it an auction estimate today of $2,500 to $3,500.
Oh my. Wow. My grandfather, who died before I was born, bought it on the street in New York. Bought it, I heard from a refugee, somebody right after the war, and brought it to my grandmother, told my grandmother that it was a yellow diamond or a canary diamond. And my grandmother, when she gave it to me a few years ago, said that she had never had it appraised. She didn't know if it was in fact a diamond. She just really liked it and she wore it often.
And have you ever worn it?
No, it's not quite me, but I like it. I like to look at it in the box.
Art Deco jewelry emerged in the 1920s and 1930s, reflecting the modernist trends of the time. The The style emphasized geometric shapes, symmetry, and clean lines, often inspired by architecture, industrial design, and ancient cultures, such as Egyptian motifs. Art Deco jewelry often showcased platinum and white gold settings, which allowed for intricate, precise stone placement. Calibre-cut gemstones and pavé settings were common, enhancing the architectural, seamless look that defined the era. Collectors valued Art Deco jewelry for its technical craftsmanship, timeless design, and visual boldness. The piece featured a 6-carat yellowish-brown diamond, also known as a cognac-colored diamond.
The mounting itself is Art Deco. We have in here some triangular cut diamonds, kite-shaped diamonds, and half-moon diamonds, which makes it really very interesting. They're very typical stones cut in the Art Deco time period, and it's surrounded by pavé set diamonds right around the center diamond itself. Pavé set diamond meaning set very close together.
The ring beautifully combined Art Deco artistry and historical provenance, making it a cherished and collectible heirloom.
Well, in the market today, this piece would bring approximately between $12,000 and $15,000. Wow.
That's great to know.
We should take it out and wear it at parties every once in a while.
You know, I think of her, and I never knew my grandfather, but it's a great story, so
yeah.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
You're welcome.
I brought a set of jewelry that was given as an engagement gift. My 6th great-grandfather to the woman that he was marrying. He was a steamboat captain after he made his fortune in the lead mines of Galena, and she was a doctor.
This was a suite of engagement jewelry dating to the mid-19th century. During this period, engagement gifts were not limited to rings and often included jewelry such as bracelets or pins. Mid-19th century European jewelry reflected a blend of symbolism and evolving fashion shaped by the Romantic and early Victorian periods. Handwork and fine detailing were highly valued as jewelry was intended to be both personal and expressive. Gold was the dominant material, often paired with pearls, enamel, and gemstones set in refined yet restrained designs. During this era, jewelry was frequently created as coordinated suites that could be worn together or separately. The set included 2 small bar pins, a larger bar pin or brooch, and a gold bangle bracelet. What made this suite especially unusual was that the bracelet was also a concealed watch.
Now what we have here is a solid gold bangle bracelet. It's got a covered top that conceals or hides the watch. It's set with natural pearls and blue guilloche enamel. We open this bezel here, the watch comes out, and it can be worn around the neck. Now, this was given to her 70 years before it became popular for anybody to wear a wristwatch. This is a key wind watch. It's made in Switzerland, and this looks exactly as the day he presented this to her.
This extraordinary suite beautifully captures the elegance and innovative design of mid-19th century European jewelry.
In a retail sale, I could see this whole suite, especially the watch, but all together bringing $15,000.
That's amazing.
It was my uncle's. He was a career Army officer. He enlisted at the beginning of World War II, and he stayed in until 1961. He loved this. He wore it a lot, and he never married, never had children, so it was part of his estate, and his sister gave me all of the jewelry that he had. So that's when this came to me.
The piece was a substantial jade cabochon ring set in 18-karat gold, originating from Asia, likely Japan or China. Jade had been a highly prized gemstone, valued for thousands of years across cultures, especially in China and Central Asia. It was celebrated not only for its beauty, but also for its cultural and spiritual significance. It was often associated with protection, prosperity, and good luck. Jade had been used in rings, bracelets, necklaces, pendants, and carvings. This ring featured a large, rich green jade stone, cut in a traditional cabochon style.
As you can see, this is a beautiful color.
It's very rich green. It appears to be very even, and that's one of the ways we judge it. But if you put a light on it, it starts to show a little bit of areas of white coming through, which tells us it's not perfectly green, so it takes it out of the category of a gemstone.
Okay.
However, it is so large. We never see jade rings.
The ring beautifully combined exceptional craftsmanship, bold design, and historical provenance, making it a striking and collectible heirloom.
In the market today, I'm going to give you a range because it's very hard to pinpoint it because of the size. I would say you're looking at an auction evaluation of $60,000 to $80,000.
Wow, I think I'll have to raise my insurance rates.
And I thought of the jewelry that my mother-in-law had in the safe, and you've probably seen it more than I've seen it in the whole time I've been in the family, and I've been in the family over 35 years. So
oh my God.
She kept it in the safe, and the story on the necklace is that one of her great-grandfathers from England was a ship captain. And the story goes that he picked this necklace up in the late 1800s, early 1800s in either China or Japan. The ring was there, but she never really told me the whole story about the ring.
The collection consisted of 2 fascinating pieces, each carrying historical charm and exceptional craftsmanship. The first piece was a rock crystal bead necklace originating from early 20th century China. Rock crystal jewelry from China became especially popular during the 1920s. The artisans produced highly polished crystal beads fitted with delicate silver mounts. These necklaces were often hand-carved, hand-strung, and sometimes exported to Europe and America. The second piece was a 1920s Art Deco diamond ring set with a transitional cut diamond measuring just under 3 carats. The Art Deco era, spanning the 1920s to 1930s, was defined by bold geometry and architectural symmetry. Transitional cut diamonds were produced primarily between the 1910s and 1930s, making them especially common in Art Deco jewelry. They often featured high crowns, smaller tables, and a bright, balanced sparkle. Together, these remarkable pieces beautifully reflected both early 20th century Chinese craftsmanship and American Art Deco jewelry design.
The beads are about $1,500 to $2,000 as a retail price. And they used to bring a lot more, but they've come down, but still,
oh, wow.
It's fantastic. The diamond ring, a retail price on this, just for the stone, is probably about $28,000.
You have got to be kidding.
No. And I think the mounting, if you had to sell the mounting separately, that is probably a $3,000 mount. So basically, you've got something retail that's in the $32,000 range.
Good grief.
Well, it came to me through my godmother's daughter, who's now 93. And she and my mother were best of friends. She had no children, and this was her second husband's, first wife's, mother's jewelry.
That's a lot to keep track of.
It is.
The piece held the hallmark of the renowned American jeweler David Webb. David Webb was a highly influential New York-based jeweler, celebrated for his bold and exceptional craftsmanship. He founded his eponymous company in the mid-20th century. He quickly gained recognition for his innovative use of gemstones, contrasting metals and intricate textures that combined artistry with elegance. His jewelry often drew inspiration from nature, animals, and historical motifs, translating them into vibrant, sculptural creations. Over the decades, David Webb became famous for his signature designs, featuring striking combinations of rubies, diamonds, and gold. Webb jewelry was highly sought after by collectors for its craftsmanship, bold design, and rarity. The particular piece was a ring crafted between the late 1950s and early 1960s.
For starters, you are right. There are rubies in the center of the ring. They are surrounded by lovely, lovely diamonds, bright white stones. Then we see the gold, which has this amazing haystack sort of appeal to it. Along with the gold, the diamonds themselves are actually set in platinum. So you have rubies, diamonds, platinum, and 18-karat gold.
Wow.
The ring beautifully reflected the heritage, artistry, and enduring sophistication that defined David Webb's jewelry.
At auction would have an estimate of $8,000 to $12,000.
Really?
Yes. So it's a wonderful piece. It's in phenomenal condition, and it's been an absolute treat to see.
Thank you, Joe.
My father-in-law obtained the ring in the 70s, but he met the artist in 1960. And he actually acquired 4 to 5 pieces. They were wedding pieces. The lady was getting divorced and she wanted to trade them. And so my father-in-law did not like the rest of the pieces. And so he melted the other 4 of them down and he just kept this one.
The piece held the hallmark of the influential Modernist jeweler, Margaret de Pater. Margaret de Pater was a pioneering American designer and a key figure in the Modernist jewelry movement. She began her career in the 1930s in Berkeley, California, studying under the renowned artist and designer Laszlo Moholy-Nagy. De Pater was celebrated for her curvilinear forms, innovative use of gemstones, and exploration of transparency and light. De Pater's work helped elevate jewelry to fine art status, influencing generations of modern jewelers. Pieces by de Pater became highly collectible and were exhibited in museums such as the Smithsonian American Art Museum and the Metropolitan Museum of Art. The particular piece was a custom engagement ring and wedding band set created in the late 1950s to early 1960s.
Are a few diamonds, and this is a piece of smoky quartz. It's just a tablet of smoky quartz. And what she's done that's sort of beautiful here, the engagement ring and the wedding band nestled together.
Okay.
So we've got this very modernistic piece, and then the ring itself is stamped on the inside.
The ring beautifully reflected Margaret de Pater's innovative vision and masterful craftsmanship.
At auction, I would estimate this item between $4,000 and $5,000.
Oh my God, are you serious?
Yes.
Oh.
I brought my grandmother's engagement ring. I believe it was given to her in the 1920s, and she lived in New Jersey at the time, and I believe my grandfather bought it in New York.
The exquisite ring dated to the late 1920s, marking the transition between the Belle Epoque and Art Deco periods. The Belle Epoque period was known for its romantic, flowing designs with intricate scrollwork, floral motifs, and delicate mill-grain detailing. Jewelry from this era emphasized elegance, femininity, and meticulous hand craftsmanship. By contrast, the Art Deco period, emerging in the 1920s, celebrated geometric precision, symmetry, and bold, stylized designs. It was heavily influenced by modernist architecture, cubism, and ancient Egyptian and Aztec motifs, reflecting the post-World War I desire for innovation and luxury. This ring captured elements of both eras. The scrolling motifs and fine mill-grain echoed the Belle Epoque. At the same time, the triangular geometric details hinted at the early Art Deco aesthetic.
It's a beautiful ring. It's mounted in platinum. Inside the ring, it does have a maker's mark, but it's not one that I could find, but I believe it was made in the U.S.
Okay.
You have to be careful. The center stone is a little bit loose.
A little bit loose, yeah.
So you have to get that repaired if you plan to wear it.
Yes.
The engagement ring beautifully illustrated the refinement, artistry, and enduring elegance of early 20th century American jewelry.
Let me tell you, if you were looking in a beautiful salon, you would find this for about $12,000.
Really? $12,000? Oh my gosh.
It belonged to my mother, and she bought it probably in the early 50s from Louisiana at a estate sale. She paid $1,000, and that's all I know.
The piece was an American ring set with a striking sapphire and diamonds, created in the early 1950s. The 1950s in the United States marked a resurgence of luxury jewelry following World War II. Jewelry from this era often combined classic European influences with modern American sensibilities. Jewelers combined traditional craftsmanship with modern sensibilities, creating pieces that were both wearable and luxurious. While influenced by European styles like Art Deco, American jewelers favored slightly softer, more practical designs. They often incorporated subtle millgrain, scrollwork, or filigree details. The ring was crafted in at least 14-karat gold, with platinum settings surrounding the diamonds, highlighting the attention to detail.
We can see from the silkiness that it's also an unheated sapphire. Now, origin is very important with sapphires. Since 1951, sapphires have gone through several levels of popularity, and since 2011, sapphires have really hit the market and really taken off.
This extraordinary piece beautifully exemplified the artistry and gemstone quality that defined mid-20th century American jewelry.
A fair auction estimate is in the range of $30,000 to $40,000.
Oh my, how exciting.
My fiance at the time and I went to a little auction out in Mughal, Nevada. It was in somebody's home, and somebody told me it came from a man that had come out and made it rich in the mining company and gave it to his wife, and it was dated 1846. But
I see you've got your receipt, which you paid $1,250 for it. That's not bad for an auction sale.
The piece held the hallmark of the esteemed American jeweler Marquise & Co. of New York. Marquise & Co. was a prominent firm active in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. Marquise & Co. was founded in New York City in 1892 by Hermann Marcus and his sons, William and George. They were renowned for their exceptional craftsmanship, innovative designs, and use of high-quality materials. Marquise & Co. was especially admired for its Art Nouveau jewelry, where they used vibrant enamel work, floral motifs, and flowing organic lines. They also produced notable Edwardian and Art Deco pieces, often featuring platinum, old European-cut diamonds, and rich gemstones. Marquise & Co.'s jewelry became highly sought after by collectors for its rarity, craftsmanship, and strong design identity. The particular piece was an 18-karat gold tiara ring, featuring green enamel accents and several diamonds, executed in a pre-Art Nouveau style. The ring beautifully exemplified the artistry, craftsmanship, and timeless design.
And in today's market, you're talking about in the neighborhood of $6,000.
well, good. Not bad for what I paid for it.
I was down there hunting for old bottles after they opened the dam up and the water level went down, and I started to dig in the embankment and the ring fell out of my hand.
The piece featured the delicate craftsmanship typical of American jewelry from the early 20th century. This period was known for refined metalwork and the rising popularity of white gold. During this era, American jewelers embraced elegant geometric lines, filigree, and hand-pierced designs. The designs reflected both the lingering influence of Edwardian taste and the emerging Art Deco movement. This particular ring exhibited this period style through its intricate open-work detailing and its use of a French-cut synthetic sapphire.
And the metal around it is white gold, done in beautiful piercing work. But it really is amazing that you found this walking along the river.
Well, I found about 40 rings altogether down
Really?
in that area. Most of them were silver, and then I have a synthetic ruby. But this one I wasn't sure about.
A French-cut synthetic sapphire referred to a laboratory-grown sapphire fashioned in the French cut. Synthetic sapphires, though man-made, had the same optical, chemical, and physical properties as natural sapphires. The particular piece stood as a small but charming example of early 20th century American jewelry artistry.
At auction, it's worth between $150 and $250.
Okay, thank you.
So I think I'll go down by the river. Thank you so much for coming to the Antiques Roadshow.
Well, this ring is my inheritance from my parents. And the ring was actually bought at an estate sale back in the 40s or 50s by a couple that I considered surrogate grandparents. And when the wife of that couple died, my parents purchased it for $500 in the mid-70s.
This yellow diamond ring dated to approximately 1900-1910, exuding early 20th century American jewelry craftsmanship. Jewelry from this era often blended Edwardian refinement with emerging modern sensibilities, producing delicate designs. It was a time defined by elegance, precision, and a fascination with airy, lace-like metalwork. Designs from this period prioritized craftsmanship over mass production. Rings combining platinum with yellow gold were especially popular between 1900 and 1910. The centerpiece of this ring was an old European-cut diamond.
When you look into the center of the stone, you can see through it. But did they talk about the color?
And know that the center cut is a yellow diamond, and the other one said something very fancy.
Someone gave it a right. Well, you know, the second appraiser was more accurate in the cut and that he called it a fancy yellow. I would even go one step further and call it a fancy intense, because it is a rich, rich yellow.
European style is distinguished by its round shape, tall crown, small table, and open coulet. The entire piece stood as a remarkable example of antique diamond jewelry.
Insurance replacement in the market today with a certificate would be over $60,000.
That's wonderful.
In the market. Without the certificate stating that it is natural, fancy, intense, you're at about $30,000. Big difference.
Yes.
I bought it at auction, got it home, and I noticed it had a lot of sparkle. It was sold to me as a cubic zirconia in silver. So it really had a lot of fire. So I got under a microscope and started noticing little symbols on the outside of the shank and did a little research into one of the marks, the dog head, platinum, a French mark.
French Art Deco was a major design movement that emerged in France during the 20th century. It represented a shift away from the ornate, flowing curves of Art Nouveau toward geometric shapes, symmetry, and streamlined modernity. French Art Deco reflected the optimism of the post-World War I era, the fascination with technology, and the desire for luxury. Designers like Raymond Templier and major Parisian houses contributed iconic pieces that remained highly collectible. The ring was set in a platinum mounting, reflecting the high-quality metalwork and elegant design typical of early 20th century French jewelry.
Central stone, it's an unusual setting. There are small trapezoidal stones in a step fashion set all around the central stone. And it builds up like one big, large stone, but the play of light is a little odd because it's multiple stones, not a single stone. We tested it, we looked at it, we put it under the loupe, we used the diamond tester just to be sure. But in fact, it does test as diamond, not as CZ. What you have is a ring that looks like it's sort of 8 to 10 carats from the top, and it's as a diamond. In fact, in the center is a stone that's about 1.5, let's say a carat and a half, and a few more carats in the surrounding stones in a platinum mount. It's a style of ring that could be as early as 1920s, 1930s.
The piece beautifully illustrated the artistry, technical expertise, and enduring appeal of French platinum jewelry.
Retail setting, I would say conservative selling price would be in the $25,000 to $30,000 price range.
Amazing. Amazing.
My husband gave it to me 10 years ago for our anniversary. I know it's 11 carats of sapphire, 5 carats of diamond, in a platinum setting, and it's marked Cartier.
Okay.
The piece bore the prestigious hallmark of the legendary French jewelry maison, Cartier. Cartier was one of the world's most renowned luxury jewelry houses, celebrated for its impeccable craftsmanship and timeless design. Founded in Paris in 1847 by Louis-François Cartier, the house quickly rose to international prominence. It became a favorite of royalty, aristocrats, and collectors worldwide. Throughout the 20th century, Cartier became known for its refined artistry and innovative gemstone settings. The particular piece presented here was a stunning platinum ring centered with an 11-carat pear-shaped Ceylon sapphire. Ceylon sapphires, originating from Sri Lanka, were historically known as Ceylon. They were prized for their exceptional clarity, luminous color, and light-reflecting brilliance. This remarkable piece beautifully reflected the enduring prestige that defined Cartier's legacy in fine jewelry.
I would say for auction purposes, you would be looking at an estimate of $40,000 to $60,000.
My gosh, I don't believe it.
It's
fantastic.
It was in some items that came from my great aunt, who was kind of a unique individual, and she loved to go to sales and collect stuff, and we loved her. She died when I was a teenager, and she left an apartment near the cathedral in St. Paul just full of stuff. And I took some of her things because a lot of people said it's just junk. And one of the things I took was an old sewing machine. It sat in my house for a long time, and in the drawer was like a muslin bag. It had pieces for the sewing machine in it. And we had a house fire, and the sewing machine had to be cleaned.
The piece held the hallmark of the prestigious French jewelry house, Cartier. Cartier was one of the world's most renowned luxury jewelry and watchmakers. Founded in Paris in 1847 by Louis-François Cartier, the brand quickly became famous for its sophisticated designs. Cartier was particularly famous for pioneering the Art Deco and tank watch designs. Over the years, Cartier became known as the jeweler of kings and the king of jewelers, serving royal families worldwide. The particular piece was identified as a pear-shaped Ceylon sapphire ring set in platinum.
The center stone is the largest stone we have here in the middle, and it's about approximately 2.50 carats. The side stones are about 1 carat each. That said, the inclusions in the stones in the center and on the side are pretty prominent. So it's probably like an SI2 to SI1 clarity, meaning slightly included to the first or the second power. The stone on to the right side of the center diamond is a little bit cleaner. The color of the diamonds are very good. It's probably like a GH on the GIA grading scale.
So that means they're whiter?
They're whiter, yes. It goes all the way down to Z, and it starts at D. Diamonds are on the rise, especially over the past year and a half.
The remarkable piece demonstrated Cartier's heritage and enduring reputation for creating timeless, luxurious jewelry.
I would say an auction estimate would be conservatively set at $30,000 to $50,000.
Wow, who knew? Laying in the bottom of a bag.
Over here, we've got a picture of
my husband's great-grandfather and grandmother.
And we can see on your husband's great-grandfather's pinky is the ring that we have in front of us.
My father-in-law had given this to us over 20 years ago. When he gave it to us, he said that that ring had belonged to my husband's great-grandfather, and that the stone in it was gold that great-grandfather had mined. He was a miner in Grass Valley, California.
The piece was a golden quartz ring, dating to approximately the 1870s, 1880s, during the late California Gold Rush. The California Gold Rush began in 1848 with the discovery of gold at Sutter's Mill near Coloma, California. This event sparked one of the largest migrations in American history, as thousands of people rushed to California hoping to strike it rich. The ring was crafted from gold and featured a central section of golden quartz. Golden quartz was a naturally occurring combination of gold and quartz, where veins or specks of gold were embedded directly within the quartz crystal. Golden quartz formed within solid rock, making it much rarer and highly prized by miners and collectors alike. Each piece of golden quartz was unique, as the gold veins created distinctive patterns that could not be replicated. The piece beautifully captured the intersection of personal history and regional craftsmanship.
I think the collectors would be happy to pay about $1,900 for a ring like this with quartz and gold from the late California Gold Rush, the 1880s.
Well, that's great.
I got it at an estate sale in the 80s. We don't really know exactly how much we paid for it, probably between $800 and $1,200, but we got a lot of other stuff as well. I was actually there for the teacups.
The teacups?
The teacups.
You still have the teacups?
I still have the teacups.
Oh gosh, oh gosh. So, do you know anything about the ring?
I know nothing about the ring. I thought it was a fake.
Right.
So,
well, let's break the ice right off the bat. It's not fake.
Okay.
It's real.
Okay.
The color's nice. Got this deep, what we call even distribution, this nice saturation. Now, if you notice, the stone is smooth on top. It's what we call cabochon.
Cabochon cutting has a long history in ring making, dating back to antiquity before the advent of faceted gemstones. Instead of sharp angles, stones were shaped into smooth, rounded domes, emphasizing natural color, inner glow, and character. This style remained beloved well into the early 20th century, especially for gems prized more for depth of hue than sparkling brilliance. In this particular ring, the emerald is fashioned as a cabochon, a choice that highlights the stone's natural identity. Unlike heavily faceted emeralds, the cabochon allows internal inclusions, tiny gardens within the gem, to be appreciated as unique fingerprints of authenticity. These inclusions are celebrated rather than concealed, giving the emerald a living, organic depth that makes it one of a kind. The creation of this ring demanded exceptional craftsmanship. The emerald was carefully shaped and polished by hand, while the surrounding structure was constructed in platinum, a metal favored during the Art Deco period for its strength and luminous, cool tone. Around the central stone, diamonds were set with painstaking precision, balancing contrast and brilliance without overpowering the emerald. The ring employs a modified French cut setting, a technique that merges precise angles with geometric reflections while accommodating the soft dome of the cabochon. Achieving this required meticulous planning, hand fabrication, and master-level stone setting, ensuring that every component aligned perfectly and enhanced the visual harmony of the piece. Rings like this are rare because they unite two contrasting philosophies of gemstone beauty: the gentle, natural elegance of cabochon cutting with the sharp, architectural precision of Art Deco diamonds. While most rings of this era favored faceted emeralds, this combination of cabochon emerald and modified French-cut diamonds remains highly sought after by collectors. Today, this emerald and diamond ring from around the year 1935 stands as a timeless work of art. It celebrates the harmony between nature and design, softness and structure, and continues to reflect the elegance, innovation, and technical mastery that define one of jewelry history's most influential eras.
Any thoughts on what your $800 fake ring is worth today?
No thoughts at all.
All right, so I think today if you put it into an auction, it would be worth $4,000 to $6,000.
Wow.
Not bad.
Not bad.
The ring on the bottom is the one that I got from my mother-in-law. The one on the top is the one that I received from my mother.
Where did your mother-in-law live?
My mother-in-law lived in Munich, Germany.
And your mother is from where?
Connecticut.
Okay, well, there's the story. They're both made in the 30s, and they're made of ruby and platinum.
During these hot 1930s, platinum became the metal of choice for high-end rings. Prized for its strength, durability, and cool, lustrous tone, its resilience allowed jewelers to secure precious gemstones while enhancing their natural brilliance. Rubies, with their deep crimson hue symbolizing passion and vitality, were frequently paired with platinum, creating rings that balanced luxury, color, and structural integrity. Rings from this period often reflected the architectural elegance of Art Deco design. Jewelers embraced geometric forms, linear symmetry, and graduated patterns, crafting pieces that resembled miniature sculptures. Every detail, from the placement of stones to the shaping of platinum, was carefully considered to achieve balance and harmony. The rings were designed to capture light from multiple angles, allowing diamonds to sparkle while rubies glowed with inner fire. The craftsmanship is particularly evident in the graduated arrangement of the stones. Diamonds were precisely cut and set to complement the rubies, while the platinum framework remained strong yet unobtrusive. This careful planning created a sense of rhythm and movement, demonstrating master-level skill in both stone setting and metalwork, as even slight misalignment could disrupt the piece's symmetry. Each ring in this collection highlights meticulous attention to detail. Rubies were hand-selected for consistent color, diamonds for clarity and brilliance, and platinum was carefully shaped, solid, and polished. The graduated arrangement not only enhanced visual appeal, but also reflected the jeweler's deep understanding of proportion, light, and design harmony. Together, these platinum, diamond, and ruby rings exemplify the artistry and technical innovation of the 1930s. They capture the era's architectural sensibilities, refined craftsmanship, and enduring love of vibrant gemstones. Today, these rings stand as timeless symbols of elegance, precision, and the sophisticated beauty that defined one of jewelry history's most celebrated periods.
How about $4,000 to $5,000 a piece?
Wow.
Probably, if we factored in that they're a pair, they might even be worth more as a pair.
Actually, I have two sons, and I think I'm just tickled that I have two because I can give each one of them one.
This ring came to me by way of my mother-in-law's death.
Okay.
And my husband received it in a velvet drawstring bag with a few other things. And we saw my mother-in-law wear it often. So we never saw it off to look at the bag, to see if we knew anything about it.
Okay.
I wear it occasionally.
Okay.
And one time I had it to a jeweler just by chance because I was having my wedding bands replaced and repaired. And he pushed it away and said it's costume.
Okay.
And so I know nothing about it.
And do you know where your mother-in-law got the ring?
We have no idea.
I'm glad that you wear it.
Thank you.
It's a lovely ring. And what's great about it is that strong green color. And do you know what that stone is?
I assume it's an emerald.
Right, and you're correct in assuming that. And what you want in a gemstone is that vibrant color. You want to see green from across the room when you wear it.
The rich, verdant green of an emerald has captivated jewelers and collectors for centuries, symbolizing renewal, prosperity, and elegance. Around the turn of the 20th century, emeralds were highly prized in ring design, often serving as the centerpiece of both everyday adornment and formal jewelry. Their luminous hue offered a striking contrast against the brilliance of diamonds, creating visual harmony sought after during this period. Craftsmanship at the turn of the 20th century was defined by precision, attention to detail, and mastery of both stone and metal. Jewelers hand-shaped and set each element carefully, emphasizing balance, proportion, and the structural integrity of delicate designs. Platinum became increasingly favored for its strength and bright tone, allowing intricate settings without adding bulk. This ring features a cabochon-cut emerald, its smooth, domed surface highlighting the stone's natural beauty. Beneath the emerald, a foil-backed mechanism enhances color and apparent depth, a technique popular at the time. Light interacts with the stone to emphasize its rich green glow, creating a luminous centerpiece for the design. Around the emerald, approximately 2.5 carats of antique-cut diamonds are arranged to complement the central stone. The soft, slightly irregular facets reflect early 20th century cutting styles, offering a gentle sparkle that frames the emerald without overpowering it. The platinum setting ties the design together, balancing the cabochon and diamonds with structural strength and refined elegance. Every element, stone, cut, and metalwork, demonstrates the technical skill and aesthetic sensibility of jewelers from this era. Today, this emerald and diamond ring stands as a remarkable example of turn-of-the-century artistry. From cabochon cut to foil-backed brilliance and antique diamonds, it captures the timeless elegance, careful handwork, and enduring beauty that define jewelry of this period.
If this were to come into auction, I would give it a conservative estimate somewhere in the neighborhood of $6,000 to $8,000.
Oh, my stars. Oh,
and expect that it could maybe do more.
Oh, that's just amazing.
Good.
Costume, right?
Yeah,
that's just
not so
amazing.
Much.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I brought some jewelry that was either my great-grandmother's or my great-great-grandmother's. My great-grandmother was a very prominent woman in San Francisco.
I see.
And she was very much involved with the Jewish San Franciscans in the 1800s.
Okay.
And I know that they were pretty wealthy people.
Do you wear them?
I do. I wear the ring. I wear this mostly when I'm going out for black tie.
What we've got is a suite of Art Deco jewelry.
This is textbook Art Deco, very geometric and uniform, platinum and diamonds, a little splash of color. We seem to have a few sapphires in here. The sapphires are probably synthetic. My guess would be is they're made somewhere on the east coast of the U.S.
During the 1920s and 1930s, the Art Deco period flourished as a time of bold geometry, symmetry, and technical innovation in jewelry. During this era, designers embraced clean lines, architectural forms, and a precise balance between materials, creating pieces that felt both modern and luxurious. Consequently, jewelry from this period reflected structural elegance, meticulous craftsmanship, and the harmonious integration of precious gemstones and metals. In addition, platinum, diamonds, and colored gemstones such as sapphires played a central role in Art Deco design. In this particular collection, these elements come together seamlessly. Platinum provides a luminous and durable foundation, diamonds add sparkling brilliance, and sapphires introduce vibrant color. As a result, the pieces demonstrate the era's sophisticated aesthetic and careful attention to material combinations. Meanwhile, the diamond ring in this set is crafted in platinum and features approximately 2 carats of carefully aligned stones. Its geometric design highlights both structure and brilliance, while the platinum framework ensures durability. Every facet and setting reflects the precision and architectural elegance characteristic of the period, further illustrating the artisan's dedication to technical mastery. Similarly, the bracelet showcases several European-cut diamonds ranging from 6/10 to 9/10 of a carat, each hand-set in platinum. The arrangement maximizes light reflection and symmetry, exemplifying the jeweler's skill in the architectural principles of Art Deco design. Thus, the piece balances bold visual presence with refined detailing, perfectly capturing the spirit of the era. Furthermore, the pendant necklace combines a string of lustrous pearls with a central old cushion-cut diamond. Its design reflects a fusion of styles, organic flowing pearls paired with precise faceted diamonds. Harmonizing materials of different textures and shapes required remarkable craftsmanship, resulting in a piece with both structural integrity and visual balance. Ultimately, this diamond bracelet, ring, and pendant collection captures the essence of Art Deco jewelry. By combining platinum, diamonds, sapphires, and pearls, the set exemplifies technical mastery, aesthetic sophistication, and enduring elegance. Together, the pieces tell the story of an era defined by innovation, precision, and the timeless pursuit of beauty.
For something like this, I would expect an auction estimate to be in the $10,000 to $15,000 range. Very nice piece.
For the bracelet.
Just the bracelet alone. In the middle, we've got a great-looking ring, again, Art Deco, and in the center, we have an old European-cut diamond. It's a nice size. It's about 2 carats. It's surrounded by single-cut diamonds, and a good auction estimate for that would be around $12,000 to $18,000. And I think a good auction estimate for that piece is going to be about $25,000 to $35,000.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, lovely suite you've got there. Nice.
Wow. Okay.
My aunt passed away several years ago, and my cousin, who lives in Europe, has her jewelry. And one day when I was visiting, he said, "Would you be interested in having a couple of my mother's rings?" And I said, "Yes, I would love it." She was my favorite aunt.
Oh, well, that's a very nice keepsake to have from her. And where did your aunt live?
She lived in Holland, the Netherlands.
The Netherlands.
Yes.
Okay.
I believe the ring must have been her husband's, but I'm not sure of that.
Well, they're 2 really lovely examples, and the reason we're showing both of these is because they are similarly related in terms of time period. So the first ring here is a snake ring.
Snake rings have a long and storied history, symbolizing eternity, wisdom, and protection. By the late 18th century, this motif gained particular popularity in Holland, where jewelers embraced both its aesthetic appeal and profound symbolism. Rings depicting a snake biting its tail, or Ouroboros, became emblems of eternal love and continuity. blending artistry with meaning in a single design. Craftsmanship during this era was meticulous. Each snake ring was carefully modeled in gold, with attention to scale, texture, and movement as seen in this piece. Artisans shaped the coiled body to rest elegantly on the finger, while the head and tail were rendered with precision, conveying both realism and symbolic intent. The piece reflects the exceptional skill and creativity of Dutch jewelers in the late 18th century. Complementing this is a gentleman's garnet ring, a style favored for male adornment at the time. Garnets were prized for their deep red hue and durability, and jewelers cut and polished each stone to maximize its natural brilliance. What makes this ring particularly striking is the engraved and enameled background, a technique that adds depth, color, and complexity while highlighting the artisan's expertise. Both the snake motif and the garnet centerpiece are rare examples of 18th century design. They represent a convergence of symbolism, luxury, and technical mastery, where every detail, from the enamel work to the coiling of the serpent, demonstrates the high standards of the period. Together, these rings are remarkable not only for their materials, but also for the historical context they carry. They embody the artistry, symbolism, and enduring allure of Dutch craftsmanship in the 18th century, standing as exceptional examples of jewelry that transcends time.
In terms of value, if you had to go to a dealer in antique and estate jewelry who dealt in very fine pieces such as this, the snake ring I would estimate somewhere between $1,000 and $1,500.
Really?
Just because of rarity.
Wow.
You know, as I say, we'd never see these because they typically don't survive.
Yeah.
And this ring here, with the garnet, the enamel, gorgeous piece, I would estimate this at auction somewhere between $5,000 and $7,000.
Wow.
You guys are the daughters of an NFL Hall of Famer, Henry Jordan.
Yes. Right. Our dad died in 1977, and after he died, my mom split up the jewelry amongst us.
And your father played defense.
He was defensive tackle, and at the time, he was the smallest defensive tackle in the NFL. He has a lot of cards out there, and they all say something different, but he was maybe 6'2" on a good day.
Henry Jordan stands among the most formidable defensive linemen in NFL history, celebrated for his strength, skill, and relentless drive on the field. His legendary career took shape with the Green Bay Packers, where he played a pivotal role in establishing the team as a powerhouse of the 1960s. Before joining the Packers, Jordan developed his talent with the Green Bay Checkers, where his early promise and determination first drew national attention. Over the years, Jordan amassed an impressive collection of championship jewelry, each piece marking a moment of triumph. Among them is his 1961 championship ring, awarded for the Packers' dominant season, alongside additional rings presented to his wife in recognition of her support. The collection also includes the 1965 World Champions ring, commemorating yet another milestone in the storied history of the team. Super Bowl victories further defined Jordan's legacy. He earned rings for both Super Bowl I and II, representing triumphs in the first two games of the modern Super Bowl era. These rings are more than symbols of team success. They are personal testaments to a player whose contributions helped shape professional football. Perhaps the most striking piece in the collection is a bracelet charm uniting all of Jordan's championship years into a single tribute. Its design is unique, featuring a medallion engraved with a depiction of an outstanding lineman, accompanied by the inscriptions, 7-time All-Pro and 5-time Pro Bowl, celebrating both individual and team accomplishments. Together, the rings and bracelet create a vivid narrative of Jordan's extraordinary career. Each item reflects his athletic excellence, the Packers' historic dominance, and the personal pride that comes from a lifetime dedicated to the game. This championship collection remains a remarkable testament to skill, sportsmanship, and enduring legacy, capturing the story of a player who left an indelible mark on the history of football.
I'll give you two values here. At auction, combined, this would bring $75,000 to $100,000.
Wow.
We think insurance value is between $150,000 to $200,000.
Okay.
As you said, you really can't value it. The sentimental value is enormous.
Well, that's fantastic.
Yeah, when this came in, we were thrilled. My eyes, I lit up.
I brought in a ring that has been in my family for years and years and years. It was my great-great-grandfather's.
Okay.
He acquired it as a gambling payoff, and it's been handed down to the oldest daughter every generation since then.
Have you worn it at all, or
I
had
wear
it
it every day of my
appraised?
life.
Yellow diamonds have been admired since ancient times, when their warm, sunlit color was associated with power, wealth, and divine light. As diamond cutting techniques evolved, these rare colored stones began finding their way into fine jewelry, valued not only for their beauty, but for their ability to bring warmth and individuality to designs that had long relied on white diamonds. By the early 20th century, yellow diamonds had firmly secured their place as symbols of luxury and bold personal style. During the Art Deco period, jewelers embraced strong geometry and vivid color contrasts, making colored diamonds especially desirable. Rings from this era were engineered with architectural precision as craftsmen focused on bold symmetry, crisp edges, and carefully balanced compositions. The yellow diamond at the heart of this ring reflects that philosophy, serving as a radiant focal point within a sharply structured and distinctly modern design. New York, often regarded as the capital of big diamonds during the 1920s, played a vital role in shaping pieces of this nature. The city became a center for master stone cutters, visionary designers, and luxury workshops where European techniques blended seamlessly with American innovation. This ring emerged from that environment of excellence where daring creativity and technical precision worked side by side. The brilliance of the craftsmanship reveals itself through the delicate fusion of tiny emeralds and diamonds that surround the central stone. These accent gems were carefully selected and hand-set to create striking contrast as cool green emeralds play against the warm glow of the yellow diamond, while white diamonds introduce flashes of light. Adding to its magic, the yellow diamond displays natural fluorescence, allowing it to emit a soft, luminous glow under certain lighting conditions and enhancing its visual depth and captivating presence. Now, this Art Deco yellow diamond ring stands as a powerful emblem of innovation, luxury, and artistic courage. From its softly glowing center to the masterful framing of emeralds and diamonds, it captures the daring spirit of the 1920s and continues to shine as a timeless testament to exceptional craftsmanship and enduring beauty.
So do you have any estimate or ideas to what it might be worth?
I thought about $7,500.
$7,500? Well, that might be a good insurance value for an auction. I would say anywhere between $5,000 and $7,000.
Okay.
But it would be worth about $7,500 if it were not fluorescent.
Okay.
Okay. So it is what it is. You can't get rid of that fluorescence, but it's actually a really interesting quality, and some people are attracted to it because it does glow in the dark.
I ended up bringing my ring that was my grandmother's that I got in 1999, and it just pretty much stays in my jewelry box most of the time. And she got it from her sister, whose husband was an estate attorney in Chicago. So they think that's where it came from.
Okay.
And that's all I know about it.
Coral has long held a special place in the world of Victorian jewelry, cherished for its warm, organic beauty and believed to carry protective and symbolic powers. As the late 19th century unfolds, coral becomes a favored material in rings, especially in sentimental and symbolic designs. Its soft, natural texture offers a striking balance against harder gemstones, making it the perfect centerpiece for expressive and emotionally rich creations. At that time, craftsmanship demanded patience and discipline. Jewelers carve and polish coral entirely by hand, carefully shaping each piece to fit custom gold mountings. Every detail is built with precision, as structural strength is carefully balanced with decorative elegance. Beauty is never the only goal. Durability and comfort are treated as equally important parts of the design. This remarkable ring is fashioned in rich 18-karat gold, a metal widely favored for its warmth and resilience. Flowing across the shoulders is the image of a serpent, forming the elegant structure of the ring. The snake motif is deeply fashionable, carrying powerful meanings of eternity, wisdom, and everlasting love, and reflecting the romantic language of symbols that defines the Victorian era. Adding another layer of refinement, delicate platinum details are woven into the design, while cabochon-cut emeralds form the serpent's eyes. These smooth, domed emeralds seem alive within the metal, while platinum enhances their brilliance and secures them firmly in place. The harmony of gold, platinum, coral, and gemstones reveals a level of technical mastery that speaks of a craftsman's devotion to perfection. Now, this coral and diamond ring stands as a timeless tribute to Victorian artistry. Its symbolic serpent form, the warmth of gold, the glow of hand-carved coral, and the luminous emerald eyes come together in perfect harmony. It captures romance, craftsmanship, and storytelling in a single object that still speaks of devotion, beauty, and enduring human emotion.
Costume jewelry. At auction, I would say that this ring would be in there for $2,000 to $3,000.
Wow.
Yeah. So, most definitely not costume jewelry.
No.
Basil Rathbone was a celebrated actor of the early 20th century, renowned for his commanding stage and screen presence, particularly in his iconic portrayals of Sherlock Holmes. Beyond his cinematic achievements, Rathbone cultivated a refined taste for fine objects, developing a particular passion for collecting exquisite jewelry. As a devoted husband, Rathbone expressed his affection for his wife, Guida Bergère, through carefully chosen gifts. Among these, jewelry held a special significance, serving as a personal and lasting symbol of love. This ring exemplifies that sentiment, capturing both elegance and intimacy in its design. The composition of the ring itself is striking. It harmoniously combines a radiant yellow diamond, fiery red rubies, and a warm golden citrine. The interplay of colors creates a vibrant balance, offering visual richness that makes the piece both sophisticated and expressive. Achieving such harmony required exceptional craftsmanship. Each gemstone was carefully selected, cut, and set to complement the others, while ensuring structural stability and optimal brilliance. The setting is designed to balance the ruby's intensity, the citrine's glow, and the yellow diamond's sparkle, highlighting meticulous artistry. In addition to its technical mastery, the ring reflects thoughtful design. The arrangement of stones and the precision of the metalwork demonstrate an understanding of color, proportion, and light, allowing the piece to radiate elegance from every angle. Ultimately, this ring is more than an accessory. It is a tangible expression of love, taste, and artistry. It embodies Rathbone's devotion to Guida Bergère and his refined appreciation for exceptional gemstones, standing as both a cherished personal keepsake and a testament to mid-20th century jewelry design.
A ring like this could easily bring from $3,000 to $4,000 at auction.
Belonged to my great aunt, and her husband was a congressman. They had no children, and he spoiled her with jewels.
He certainly did. Now, roughly, when was he a congressman? What years?
Mid to late 20s, so maybe 27.
Okay.
The pieces held the hallmarks of early 20th century American jewelry craftsmanship and the Art Deco period. The American Art Deco movement, emerging in the 1920s and 1930s, reflected the optimism and cultural dynamism of post-World War I America. American Art Deco designs usually incorporated native motifs, stylized flora, and geometric abstraction. American Art Deco jewelers included J.E. Caldwell and Kosu, Black, Star and Frost, and Paulding Farnham at Tiffany. Art Deco designers paired diamonds, vivid gemstones, and platinum in striking geometric forms. These pieces united American craftsmanship with the refined modernity of the period. This distinctive ring, crafted around 1925, was believed to have been made by a skilled New York City jeweler, though no maker's mark was present.
These are large stones. It's the natural Burmese ruby. Comes from Burma. It's an old stone.
The collection also included a diamond necklace and ruby bracelet.
Now we get to the diamond and ruby bracelet. The ruby, the center stone, is 3.5 carats. You say she took some out?
Yes, 9 more. It was
9 more.
reduced in size to fit her
So
wrist.
that comes to a total of 31 rubies. Those weigh 27 carats. You have 70 baguette diamonds and 144 round diamonds. And that comes to close to 15 carats of diamonds. These rubies also are Burma quality. The small ones are a little better than the center one. The center one has a tiny bit of white in it.
This remarkable collection showcased the artistry, precision, and opulence of the Art Deco era.
The pendant is worth somewhere around $12,000. They're 2 diamonds. They're off color. The ring with the fine ruby and the very, very white diamond, that's roughly about $80,000. Wait, you haven't heard anything yet. Now, your rubies in here are magnificent. Your bracelet is worth $165,000.
No, I never thought it would be that much.
The 3 pieces together in today's market is worth somewhere about $257,000 in that area.
Wow.
This was my grandmother's, and my parents gave it to me probably 10 or 15 years ago.
Do you ever wear it?
Well, my family always asks me where's the ring? Mom, where the ring? And I'll pull it out.
Yeah.
I don't wear it a whole lot. Yeah. It intimidates me.
It is a large stone. It's not a teeny tiny thing.
The piece was a dazzling vintage diamond ring, a true example of early 20th century American jewelry craftsmanship. During this era, American jewelers experimented boldly, mixing platinum, gold, and innovative cuts to create rings. Unlike European designs, which often emphasized delicate elegance, American pieces celebrated scale, sparkle, and technical ingenuity. This diamond, circa 1920-1930, weighed about 5 carats and featured a spready cut. This technique was popular in the US because it made the stone look larger face up, creating maximum visual impact. Rings of this caliber were often worn by society women and passed down as family treasures.
Well, there is a little bit of color in the stone, and we would probably refer to it as like an M color stone. If you're familiar with the diamond grading on the GIA scale, it's probably about an M color, and it's very clean. It's like a VVS2, actually, which is really at the higher end of the grading, and that's really important right now.
This remarkable ring not only sparkled with brilliance, but also told a story of innovation, craftsmanship, and family legacy.
I would say that an insurance value that would be more appropriate would probably be about $65,000.
No way.
Yeah.
$65,000?
Yeah, it's a very, very...
No wonder I've been nervous wearing it.
Yeah, you should...
I should be nervous.
Well, I was fortunate to have inherited it from a wealthy Dutch aunt. I was born in Amsterdam, in Holland, and my parents were there during the Nazi occupation and decided for many reasons to immigrate to America. And so we came and lived in a converted barn in Connecticut, and during that time, my mother's younger sister came for a visit, decided to stay there. She ultimately met my father's boss, fell in love, and they were married in 1955. And before too long, they went back to Holland and invested in antiques, antique jewelry, paintings, porcelain. And when she died, I inherited some beautiful things.
The collection held the hallmark of mid-20th century Dutch craftsmanship in fine jewelry. Mid-20th century Dutch craftsmanship in fine jewelry reflected a fascinating blend of tradition and innovation. During this period, jewelers frequently used rose-cut diamonds set in silver backed with gold, a hallmark of Dutch craftsmanship. This combination allowed for both durability and brilliance, while keeping the look elegant and refined. Jewelry makers in the Netherlands also experimented with cultured pearls, which were still relatively new at the time. Collectors valued this period pieces not only for their gemstones, but also for their craftsmanship. The particular set included a necklace, bracelet, brooch, earrings, and a ring, all set with rose-cut diamonds in silver backed with gold.
Looking at these pieces closely, though, these are in the antique style. So these are actually not antique. These were done in the 1950s.
Oh, interesting.
So it corresponds with the history of when she was married.
Sure.
And when she emigrated to Holland.
Sure.
We also know this because in looking at the pieces, they have Dutch hallmarks on them that correspond to 1955. I particularly like the brooch. It's beautifully articulated, set with the rose-cut diamonds. It has a lot of life to it. And the corresponding bracelet, too, I think is really quite wonderful in the way that it really picks up the style of the 19th century in terms of that old antique style. These are cultured pearls, and these are very typical of the 1950s.
This remarkable collection beautifully reflected mid-century Dutch artistry.
I would say that in the current market, given the current conditions, I would put the insurance value at between $25,000 and $30,000.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my.
I paid $100 at a yard sale.
Did you know that it was gold?
Yes.
The piece held the hallmark of the esteemed Viennese jeweler and sculptor Deco. Eric Deco was a multifaceted artist and designer, born in Vienna in 1916. He became internationally known for his imaginative work in jewelry, sculpture, and visual art. Deco was known for his unique approach to jewelry, blending sculptural artistry with fine metals, a style characteristic of early 20th century Vienna. His work often featured intricate figurative designs, emphasizing both craftsmanship and artistic expression. The particular piece was identified as a gold ring featuring detailed sculptural figures along the sides. The remarkable work reflected Deco's mastery of form, design, and fine metalwork, making it rare and highly collectible.
I'm going to say in the market today, you're probably looking at $1,500.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
I was given the ring by my Aunt Margaret. She was a teenager when she got the ring. She showed horses, and Sarah Hines, who was the sister of H.J. Hines, asked her to show their horses for them. And since she was an amateur, she wasn't allowed to receive money. So after 1 year of showing, she was given this jade ring out of Sarah Hines's jade collection. She rode up until she was about 80 years old.
The piece held the hallmark of exquisite American Art Deco jewelry. American Art Deco jewelry flourished in the 1920s and 1930s during a period of rapid social, technological, and cultural change. Unlike European counterparts, which were heavily influenced by luxury, American Art Deco was shaped by a more democratic, urban sensibility. The style embraced innovation and rejected excessive ornamentation. Designers explored platinum and combinations of white gold, yellow gold, and occasionally silver to create visual contrast. Tiffany & Co., Marcus & Co., and Black Star & Frost were among the leading names producing high-quality pieces. The particular piece was identified as a jade and sapphire ring, mounted in platinum, featuring a central jade stone accented by carefully set sapphires.
Now it's mounted in platinum, which is a tough material, so it could stand wearing it even while horseback riding. And the box, I don't think it's the original box. You wouldn't have seen an American Art Deco ring in that box.
Oh.
This remarkable ring reflected the enduring appeal of Art Deco design and the heritage of fine American jewelry.
I think today you're probably looking at $15,000 to $20,000 to have this ring replaced. And I think if you had to sell it to buy a horse at auction, you're probably in the $10,000 to $12,000 range today.
Wow, that's amazing.
It's a family piece. The stone was originally purchased at the World's Fair in San Francisco Bay at Treasure Island, and then it was set as a ring by Granite Brothers in San Francisco.
The piece held the hallmark of the respected San Francisco jeweler, Granite Brothers. Granite Brothers was a prominent jewelry house in San Francisco. They were known for their exquisite craftsmanship and custom designs during the early to mid-20th century. They specialized in setting high-quality gemstones in elegant platinum and diamond mounts. They were especially celebrated for their diamond engagement and wedding rings. Granite Brothers remained sought after by collectors and enthusiasts of Art Deco and vintage American jewelry. The particular piece was identified as a jade ring set in platinum and accented with diamonds.
That's beautiful. Well, in today's market, what's difficult is to find an antique setting that would complement a stone of this nature. And what's nice is we can date the stone to at least, you said, 1938, correct?
This remarkable ring exemplified the enduring appeal of natural jade and the fine craftsmanship of Granite Brothers.
At auction today, an auction is a fair market value. We would probably use an estimate of about $4,000 to $6,000.
Oh my.
Well, I brought my engagement ring, which was given to me about 35 years ago, I guess. My fiancé and I were trying to decide what kind of ring to get, and he very generously offered to take me to New York City. So we went to New York and went to meet an elderly gentleman who sold stones. And out of his safe, he brought many little packets of white paper and unrolled them all and showed me so many different things. And this is the stone I picked.
The piece featured a high-quality colored diamond acquired from a respected New York City dealer in the mid-1970s. Colored diamonds, particularly yellow diamonds, were highly prized for their rarity, intensity of color, and brilliance. Unlike traditional white diamonds, colored or fancy diamonds derive their hues from trace elements, nitrogen for yellow, boron for blue, and rare crystal changes for pink or red. The Gemological Institute of America certified the quality and grade of such stones, providing an essential benchmark for collectors and insurers. Beyond technical grading, colored diamonds had a fascinating history of rarity and allure, once reserved for royalty and high society. The particular piece was identified as a natural yellow diamond, weighing approximately 3.4 carats, cut in a modern, round, brilliant style.
It's a really beautiful color. I mean, the yellow color is really impressive. Our opinion was that it was easily fancy intense. There's a possibility it could grade fancy vivid. No guarantee. Okay. And the clarity of the stone is very nice.
Okay.
The cut of the stone is a modern, round, brilliant cut.
Oh, I see.
If it were to grade, again, a fancy intense or better.
This exceptional ring showcased both the beauty and rarity inherent in colored diamonds.
I could easily see this selling for about $140,000 to $160,000.
Oh my God. Oh my gosh. I just can't even believe that.
It's a really beautiful stone.
This ring was once owned by my grandmother's first husband. His name was Harry Rich, and he was a magician and aerialist back in the teens and 20s. He actually died during the performance of one of his acts in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. This was passed down through my grandmother and was worn by her second husband, actually, who had a son who's my father.
The piece held the hallmark of early 20th century American craftsmanship, set in platinum. Platinum became increasingly popular in fine jewelry in the early 1900s for its strength and durability. Its malleability allowed jewelers to create intricate, delicate settings that could securely hold larger gemstones. Unlike gold, platinum did not wear away easily, ensuring the longevity of finely crafted designs over generations. The particular piece was identified as a round, European-cut diamond, weighing just over 7 carats. Popular in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, European-cut diamonds were crafted to maximize sparkle, especially in platinum settings. The ring dated to the early 1920s and carried a rich provenance,
which was really just starting to be used in the early part of the 20th century. It also was mounted in 8 prongs. A lot of times these rings are mounted in 4 prongs or 6 prongs. I would imagine it's 8 prongs, not just from an aesthetic view, but the ring was built for a man to wear. It's rather large and heavy.
The stunning piece blended masterful craftsmanship with the timeless beauty of American jewelry.
By a well-known lab, I would put it somewhere between, at auction, $60,000 to $80,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
It belonged to the Lee Meriwether estate, and my great uncle was his publisher, and my great aunt ran his house. They lived there. They lived on like the 3rd floor or 4th floor, I'm not sure. And so when they died, my grandmother inherited that estate. And when my grandmother was not at her home anymore, we went out there and went through her house. And my daughter-in-law said, I think I'm gonna look through those old purses. So there was a stack of black purses in the closet. She went through them and she found this ring.
The piece held the hallmark of early 20th century American jewelry craftsmanship. Jewelry was a statement of status, taste, and modernity among America's elite. Early 20th century American jewelry blended European elegance with distinctly American innovation. Jewelers embraced platinum, which allowed for intricate designs and durable settings. Designs from this period were influenced by architecture, nature, and the emerging machine age, reflecting geometric and industrial motifs. Houses like Tiffany & Co., Marcus & Co., and Black Star & Frost led the market with both technical skill and artistic vision. This period marked a shift toward modern aesthetics while maintaining traditional craftsmanship. This remarkable piece was set in yellow gold, reflecting the transitional styles of the 1920s. This diamond ring not only showcased fine early 20th century craftsmanship, but also preserved a rich family history.
I'm going to say in the market today, if you had to sell it, let's say in an auction venue, between $10,000 and $12,000.
Oh.
So I think something that was in a purse that's had this
That's unbelievable.
They were my maternal grandmothers, and my grandfather worked on Wall Street in the 1950s and early 1960s, and occasionally he would, on his lunch break, go down to Fifth Avenue or Park Avenue and go window shopping and get my grandmother a lovely gift.
This remarkable collection showcased early to mid-20th century American jewelry. The first piece was identified as an Art Deco bow-form brooch dating to the 1920s, likely American-made. This period marked the height of the Art Deco movement. The era was characterized by bold geometric shapes, symmetry, and a fascination with modernity and the machine age. Jewelry from this era often combined elegance with innovative design, reflecting the optimism and glamour of the Roaring Twenties. The second piece was identified as an emerald ring, likely American-made, dating from the late 1930s to early 1940s.
Well, you know, it's very interesting. What's unusual about this emerald is that it is a clean emerald, because usually emeralds have many inclusions. And I don't think it's clean because your grandmother washed it. I think that it's clean because it probably comes from a mine in South America that produces a cleaner stone, like the Chivor mine from Colombia.
During this time, jewelry designs embraced both the refinement of earlier decades and the growing influence of streamlined modern forms. Emeralds and other colored gemstones gained popularity, adding elegance even during the Great Depression and pre-war era. The third piece was identified as a diamond ring, with an elongated, pointed shape accented by long, tapered baguette diamonds. Baguette diamonds were rectangular-shaped diamonds with step cuts featuring parallel facets arranged in a stair-step pattern. Baguette diamonds were valued for their precision and ability to complement other stones rather than overpower them. This remarkable collection highlighted both the quality of the gemstones and the discerning taste of the original collector.
So I'm going to give you the value of the bow brooch first. At wholesale or auction price, we would range it between $3,000 to $4,000.
All right.
The emerald in the same range, between $3,000 to $4,000.
Okay.
But of course the diamond, I'm going to say $8,000 to $12,000.
Okay.
So I think your grandfather did some good shopping.
I think he did too. My grandmother would be thrilled if she knew.
It's a collection of 3 rings that were passed down from my mother, who died about 4 years ago. I know very little about them, other than I did see my mother wearing the ruby, and I know that it used to be a man's ring that was worn by my grandfather, and then when my mother inherited it, She had it sized down so that she could wear it. The other two rings I never did see her wear. I suspect that they came from her mother, my grandmother, who married a gentleman who was in the shipping business in San Francisco.
Okay.
So I'm surmising that that's perhaps where they originated.
This collection was a blend of early to mid-20th century American jewelry craftsmanship. Mid-20th century American jewelry marked a moment when design, culture, and bold creativity came together. Jewelers were moving away from the ornate styles of earlier decades and embraced cleaner lines, modern forms, and playful contrasts. This was the era of Hollywood glamour, post-war optimism, and a new fascination with innovation. Major American houses such as Tiffany & Co., David Webb and Harry Winston shaped trends worldwide. Their designs celebrated individuality, luxury, and fearless creativity, making mid-20th century American jewelry one of the most exciting. The first piece was identified as a jadeite ring. The second piece was identified as a ruby ring, featuring a 3.5-carat center stone of exceptionally bright, intense red color. The third piece was identified as a diamond ring, set in an Art Deco style, likely from the 1920s. Together, the three rings showcased a family legacy while reflecting enduring American craftsmanship.
Collectively, all three rings, probably right around $60,000.
Oh.
I was in London in the 80s visiting my brother-in-law and my sister-in-law who were living there at the time, and I went to the street markets in London and found these pieces. I like things that are unusual and have character, and I thought these three pieces had a lot of character and were very unusual.
The collection consisted of 3 highly distinctive pieces, each reflecting remarkable craftsmanship. The first piece was identified as a Georgian family crest ring, dating to approximately 1750. Jewelry from the Georgian era was entirely handcrafted. It often featured repoussé work, intricate engraving, and symbolic motifs. Family crest rings in particular served as markers of lineage, identity, and social standing. The second piece was identified as a Stuart crystal slide, originating from the mid-17th century, circa 1650. Stuart crystal jewelry was created during and after the reign of the Stuart monarchs, often worn as sentimental or memorial tokens. These pieces typically showcased rock crystal panels encasing woven hair, miniature portraits, or royal emblems. The third piece was an 18th century ship model ring, showcasing an intricately carved miniature ship beneath a glass dome. Rings like this emerged during a period of extensive global exploration and maritime trade, reflecting nautical fascination. Such rings were extremely rare, capturing the adventurous spirit and artistic finesse of the 1700s. Together, the three pieces reflected a combination of masterful craftsmanship and enduring aesthetic appeal.
Today's retail market, this ring would bring approximately $4,500.
Oh my.
The Stuart crystal slide in the center, highly collectible, quite rare, and this one has a most detailed and unusual subject matter. This slide would be about $6,500.
Oh, really? Oh.
And the ship's model under glass, that's not crystal, that one's under glass.
Okay.
I've never quite seen another one. Ship's collectors are fierce. And that one I see at $7,500
Oh my goodness.
in retail for a collector.
Oh my gosh, that's fantastic.
I inherited a box of jewelry, a lot of costume jewelry, and this was in it.
Did you have any idea if this was a costume piece or a real piece?
I was hoping it was real, but I didn't know.
The piece was crafted in luxurious platinum and dated to the mid-20th century, specifically the 1950s. Mid-20th century American jewelry was celebrated for its bold elegance, clean lines, and refined craftsmanship. This period followed the glamour of the 1930s and 40s and introduced designs centered around large, high-quality gemstones. By the 1950s, American jewelers worked extensively in platinum and white gold. The particular piece was identified as a 1950s platinum ring set with a large, fancy-colored Marquise cut diamond. The Marquise cut diamond was one of the most distinctive and romantic diamond shapes in fine jewelry. The cut dated back to the 18th century, when King Louis XV of France requested a diamond shape that resembled the lips of his mistress, the Marquise de Pompadour. This remarkable ring beautifully embodied bold sophistication and meticulous artistry.
At auction, an item like this would sell for between $40,000 and $60,000.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Is that what you expected to hear?
No.
No.
My husband, this was his mother's brooch. She never spoke about it, and when she was getting sick, she mentioned to my husband that he should give it to me when something happens. And so that's all I know about it.
Had you ever had the brooch appraised, or had anybody talk to you about the brooch at all?
I brought it with me one time when I was having a ring repaired, and the gentleman there said that he thought it was a black opal, but he wasn't sure, and he couldn't give me no sense of value or anything on it.
Well, he was correct. What we have here is a black opal, diamond, and demantoid garnet brooch. Now, based on the stones that are in the item and the design, I would date this around 1910.
During the Edwardian era, jewelry design embraced lightness, elegance, and gemstones with unusual optical effects. Black opals, newly celebrated after spectacular deposits were discovered in Lightning Ridge, Australia in the early 1900s, quickly became some of the era's most coveted stones. Their fiery play of color aligned perfectly with Edwardian tastes for gems that seemed almost magical. At the same time, Shreve & Co. of San Francisco stood among America's most respected luxury jewelers. The firm enthusiastically adopted the finest Lightning Ridge black opals, prized for their vivid blues, greens, and multicolored flashes. This brooch, with its platinum over gold mount, beautifully reflects the era's airy, lace-like design sensibilities. Pieces like this were worn as refined daytime or evening adornments and mark a shift in American jewelry toward gemstone-focused luxury. Today, early black opal creations by Shreve & Co. are especially valued for their rarity, exceptional craftsmanship, and their connection to the moment when Australian opal transformed the global gemstone market.
I would say at auction, this would bring anywhere between $15,000 and $20,000.
Wow. Ooh, it's quite a bit.
My grandfather owned a jewelry store in a real small mining town, and it was a jewelry store slash pawn shop slash sporting goods store.
Are they mining diamonds by any chance?
No, the town mined Millennium. It was in Leadville, Colorado. He passed away 10 years ago, and this is one of the pieces that was in all of the things that he left for me.
And he made this ring for you, you said?
That was the story.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know.
You have an Asher cut diamond ring. It's approximately 5 carats 20. It's a G color, VVS2, very, very clean stone. And there is a mark in here. It wasn't made by your grandfather. It was made by a company called Burke's, and they were a Canadian firm that were working around 1915, 1920. Very reputable firm, made some very nice jewelry.
The Asher cut was introduced in 1902 by the Asher brothers of Amsterdam, a family renowned for their precision cutting and for handling some of history's greatest diamonds, including the legendary Cullinan. By 1915, the Asher cut had emerged as one of the most sophisticated and modern diamond styles of the early 20th century. As jewelry evolved from the Edwardian era into early Art Deco, Burke's began incorporating this newly popular cut into their designs, as seen in this ring. The Asher cut was admired for its crisp geometry, deep step facets, and distinctive Hall of Mirrors brilliance, qualities clearly evident in this example. The ring is mounted in platinum, a metal prized for its strength and for its ability to support the delicate, airy filigree work favored during this transitional period. Each Asher-cut diamond in this ring was cut entirely by hand, giving every stone its own character and subtle individuality. Today, early Asher-cut diamonds are treasured for their rarity and for the exceptional craftsmanship behind a cut that helped shape modern gemstone design.
Did you have any idea of the value of the ring?
Not really. I mean, I've seen other rings in jewelry stores, but no, not really.
Well, I'd say that if you were to walk into a retail store today and try and purchase a ring like this, it would easily cost you $165,000 to $175,000.
Really? Okay.
This ring was given to my grandmother from my grandfather's an engagement present, and they were married in 1915, and I don't know too much about it. I think it's a canary diamond, but I'm not positive, and I think it's platinum, but we've never had it appraised or anything like that.
Okay, and have you worn it, or has it been worn in your family?
My mother wore it quite a bit, but I have it in a safety deposit box now.
A canary is a term that we really don't use in the jewelry world as much as we used to. I would say that this is more of a fancy, intense yellow color diamond. And basically that's the saturation of the diamond. So the amount of saturation of the yellow in that diamond determines its value. I've gauged it out. In the mounting, you can never really know the exact weight, but according to the millimeter gauge, pretty much looks like it's about a half of a carat.
In the early 20th century, fine yellow diamonds were still relatively uncommon in Western jewelry. Natural stones with rich, even color were sourced primarily from South Africa's Kimberley mines, and they were prized for their warmth and rarity. Their vivid hue appealed to clients who wanted something more distinctive than the traditional white diamond solitaire. In this yellow diamond ring, the use of platinum creates a cool, silvery contrast that intensifies the stone's golden fire, a deliberate and fashionable aesthetic choice of the period. The ring's design reflects the elegant, symmetrical detailing inherited from Edwardian taste, paired with early geometric influences that foreshadow the emerging Art Deco style. Today, yellow diamond rings from this era are admired for their rare colored stones, refined craftsmanship, and beautifully balanced design.
For auction purposes, I would estimate this to be worth anywhere between $4,000 and $6,000.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, let's start with the size of the stone. Very difficult, of course, to measure it in the mounting, but I would say it's at least 20 to 25 carats. So it's big size.
Yeah.
It's an emerald. And a lot of people that look at these stones say, but it's not such a great color or it's not so clear. Well, that makes sense for a carved stone because you wouldn't really carve a great stone. So most of these carved emeralds are not the best examples of the stone.
I wondered because it has a lot of inclusions to it.
But that also makes it very difficult to carve because if you have a lot of inclusions, it's pretty tricky.
Okay.
But the history of carvings, that's what's interesting to me, is this really dates back to the Mughal Empire when they carved stones. The Shah Jahan, who built the Taj Mahal, he would have sacred text inscriptions put in and carry them as talismans. So it has a long history.
The Mughal Empire was celebrated for its masterful gemstone carving, particularly emeralds engraved with floral motifs, calligraphy, or sacred symbols, stones prized for both their artistry and spiritual significance. By the 1920s, Western jewelers and collectors sought Mughal-carved stones as distinctive, luxurious elements in contemporary rings. This ring pairs a Mughal-carved emerald with rubies and diamonds in an Art Deco setting, exemplifying the seamless fusion of historical craftsmanship and modern design. The emerald's intricate carving showcases the stone's translucency and skillful execution, while the surrounding rubies enhance its green hue, providing vibrant contrast and a regal accent. Combining early 20th century Western design with Mughal-era gemstones, this ring reflects the 1920s fascination with exoticism and historical artistry. Rings of this type are prized for their historical significance, exceptional craftsmanship, and elegant blending of Eastern and Western design traditions.
But I would say, because of the style, because of the size, because of the carving, and because it's so pretty and so interesting, that it is worth between $8,000 and $10,000, even in this condition, if it were signed Cartier. or Tiffany,
Yeah.
the price would be $30,000 to $50,000.
Wow.
So I'm going to give you a task. You think that it might have been purchased at Tiffany. Try to find the original bill, because then you would have something really, really
Right,
valuable.
if I could find that receipt.
That's it. Get that receipt.
Okay.
Interesting ring. It's a scarab ring and it's surrounded by diamonds. But what I found most interesting about the piece was that it opens up, as I think you knew.
Yes.
And when you open it up, there's this interior screen here. Do you have any idea what this is?
All I know is my mother told me it was a poison ring. It was very dramatic.
History of Lucretia Borgia.
Yes.
Unfortunately, there's no Lucretia Borgia here. What's interesting is that this is actually called a vinegaret or a scent ring.
The scarab motif became especially popular in European jewelry during the Victorian period, thanks to the era's growing obsession with Egyptology. As archaeologists uncovered ancient tombs and artifacts, Victorian jewelers eagerly adopted Egyptian symbols, scarabs included, into rings, lockets, and pendants. At the same time, vinaigrettes were all the rage. These tiny containers held scented sponges and were used to stay refreshed in crowded streets or warm interiors, making them both practical and stylish. In this ring, the scarab is carved in the form of a beetle, an ancient Egyptian symbol of rebirth, protection, and transformation. It adds not only beauty, but also a layer of meaning that Victorians found irresistible. Today, pieces that combine scarabs with vinaigrettes are especially admired for their rich historical background, their craftsmanship, and the symbolic depth they carry. They're wonderful examples of how Victorian jewelry merged usefulness, fashion, and cultural curiosity into one memorable object.
So a piece like this, value on this would be somewhere between $800 to $1,200 at auction.
It was in the costume jewelry box in my mother's drawer.
Well, it's not costume.
Wow, well that's very interesting, and I'm glad to hear it really wasn't a poison ring.
Unless you do want to use it for that, that's your business.
Mother bought the ring about 20 years ago. She paid around $500. It was in a little jewelry store that had an estate piece section, and we think it's a cabochon emerald, and that's all we know.
Okay. Did you know the diamonds are real?
Hoping.
You didn't even know that. Okay. Well, it is yellow gold, and the diamonds are all set in platinum. This ring has all the earmarks of being fantastic. All this is hand set and hand done. The ring is handmade. It's not cast. It's one of a kind. But I'm sad to tell you that the stone is not real. Now, this stone is a top grade French glass, and the French were magnificent in making glass.
Right.
And they made the emeralds, the rubies, and the sapphires. It fools us all the time.
During the Art Deco era, jewelers began using high-quality French art glass in place of emeralds, and it wasn't just a cost-saving trick. It actually reflected a bigger artistic shift happening at the time. Art glass opened the door to clean geometric shapes and bold architectural designs, the kind of look that defined the 1920s and 30s. Natural emeralds, on the other hand, were much harder to work with. They're fragile, full of natural inclusions, and large, flawless stones were both rare and astronomically expensive. French art glass offered the best of both worlds: rich color, excellent durability, and complete freedom for the designer's imagination. In this ring, the emerald-like French glass is paired with diamonds, platinum, and meticulous workmanship, creating a piece that still feels undeniably luxurious. It shows how Art Deco jewelers could push boundaries without sacrificing elegance or quality.
$500 is a very fair price for the whole ring. If the emerald was real, it'd be another $10,000. But that's not that debate. But you still enjoy the ring?
I will.
Did you ever ask your mother if she knew it was glass?
She didn't know.
Oh, she also didn't know.
But when you said, here, wait here, and we waited, I said, it's either good or bad that you get put on TV.
It's a diamond ring. These are the old cut diamonds called rose cut diamonds. There's a very large one in the center. The design of the ring is Italian name Giardinetti. And the Italian word Giardinetti means garden, giardin, or a flower arrangement.
Giardinetti rings first appeared in the mid-1700s, right in the heart of the Rococo era, a time when European taste leaned toward nature, whimsy, and all things romantic. These little garden rings weren't just pretty, they were symbolic. Each flower carried a message: love, loyalty, friendship, or happiness. So giving one was like offering a beautifully coded love note. The colors of the gemstones helped build a tiny bouquet, turning the ring into a sentimental miniature artwork. In this example, the jeweler crafted a vase overflowing with diamond flowers, all set in platinum and framed by a soft blue enamel background. The design captures the lightness and charm of late Rococo style while subtly leaning toward early neoclassical refinement. Today, Giardinetti rings are prized not only for their rarity, but for the joyful little gardens they preserve, tiny, sparkling worlds that have survived for nearly 3 centuries.
The retail value this ring would achieve about $10,000.
Wow. Well, that's a lot more than...
A lot more than you thought.
It's, as far as I know, a carved sapphire, marked Cartier. I got it for a birthday one year, found it at a flea market in our area.
Okay.
My husband got it for me, just fell in love with it.
And what did you pay for it?
Some hundreds, not more than 1,000.
When was that?
10 or so years ago.
This is a carved sapphire. I would say right around 1920 to 1925.
Okay.
It's a beautiful flower motif on the top. Around early 1900s, Cartier became fascinated with Indian carved gemstones. This particular stone, I believe, would be a Ceylon sapphire.
By the 1910s and 1920s, Cartier had built strong ties with Indian royalty and influential patrons who brought the firm extraordinary carved sapphires, emeralds, rubies, and spinels, many originally created during the Mughal Empire. Instead of reshaping these stones into typical Western cuts, Cartier did something bold for the time. They showcased the carvings exactly as they were, treating them as works of art. These gems often featured delicate foliage scrolls or shallow relief designs. In this ring, the sapphire is carved with a floral motif, giving it that unmistakable Mughal elegance. On both sides, diamond-set platinum shoulders add the sparkle and structure that define Art Deco style. And notice the black enamel framing the sapphire. It creates a crisp, symmetrical border that beautifully balances the stone's organic carving with Cartier's geometric Deco design. Pieces like this remain some of the most collectible Cartier jewels from the era, prized for their incredible color, sculptural beauty, and the fascinating cultural fusion they represent.
I would say auction estimate would be between $5,000 and $7,000.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Great, thank you.
Well, it's one of my favorite cuts of diamond. It's called an emerald cut. And emerald cuts first became popular in the 20s because it's a very clean, modern cut. You have these beautiful step cuts in the front and then these linear facets beneath. So it doesn't have the brilliance of the traditional round, brilliant cut, but it really shows off the clarity of the stone. And that was one of the first things I noticed about this stone was its incredible clarity. And that means its lack of inclusions. All diamonds, well, most diamonds, have some kind of inclusion. It's just a natural process of how they grow in the earth. But this diamond is very, very clean to the eye. I had a problem finding anything inside it, which is very rare in a diamond. I also looked inside the band for a signature, and there wasn't one. But your mother was very smart, and she kept her paperwork, which said that this was sold by Van Cleef and Arpels.
Yes.
By the late 1960s and early 1970s, Van Cleef and Arpels had really settled into a fresh, modern look, clean lines, bold shapes, and a cool sense of refinement that felt totally different from the ornate jewelry of earlier decades. One of their signatures from this period was the use of emerald-cut diamonds. These stones are all about architecture, long, mirror-like facets, incredible clarity, and a kind of quiet drama that never feels overdone. This ring fits that era perfectly. It features a classic emerald-cut diamond in a 4-prong setting, framed by 2 tapered baguettes that add even more sleek geometry. It's refined, glamorous, and surprisingly wearable all at once. The ring is crafted in platinum. Van Cleef's go-to metal at the time, chosen for its strength and its ability to support those crisp architectural lines. Today, rings like this are highly collectible. They're appreciated not just for their craftsmanship, but for capturing that iconic Parisian style and the timeless elegance of Van Cleef and Arpels at the height of its mid-century creativity.
If this were at auction, would probably estimate it 80 to 120,000. And if you were going to insure it, I'd probably recommend insuring it around $140,000.
Oh, great. Well, that's that's nice.
Exactly, yeah, the Denny Diamond's doing well.
I'll have to get some insurance on it. Thank you.
Well, my mother used to collect loose stones when she traveled around the world, and she was in Australia. And she decided she wanted to buy a black opal while she was there.
Do you happen to know how much your mother paid for the stone itself in Australia?
I have no idea.
Black opals are great things to have brought back from Australia. They're much more highly valued than white opals. It would be nicer if this stone had a little flecks of orange or flecks of red in it. That would make it even more important, but it's still a very pretty stone. What you see from the top here is what we call a ballerina mount.
Oh, okay.
Because you see the undulation of the diamonds, just like a tutu. But this type of mount was much more popular later in the in the 60s and 70s into the 80s, and that's probably about when she would have had it mounted. So this is probably from the 70s.
Mid-20th century jewelry celebrated bold color and sculptural elegance, reflecting modernist and glamorous sensibilities. Black opals, renowned for their deep, iridescent play of color and primarily sourced from Lightning Ridge, Australia, were prized for their rarity, visual drama, and sophistication. This ring exemplifies the growing appreciation for Australian opals, which remained relatively rare in high jewelry outside Europe and the United States. The ballerina setting, popular for colored gemstones, features diamonds radiating around the central stone like a tutu, highlighting the opal's fiery hues. Jewelry designers paired black opals with this setting to emphasize the gem's fiery colors against the brilliance of surrounding diamonds. Platinum or white gold was typically used to enhance contrast and ensure durability and precision. Today, black opal rings in ballerina settings are highly collectible, admired for their vivid color, dramatic design, and technical excellence, epitomizing mid-20th century luxury jewelry's playful elegance and sophistication.
Nonetheless, you'd probably have to pay $12,000 to $15,000 in a retail setting to buy this ring today.
Holy Outback!
The 1920s marked a transformative era in jewelry, defined by Art Deco and the rise of bold statement pieces for evening wear. This cocktail ring, a large eye-catching design typically worn on the right hand or index finger, symbolized glamour, independence, and modernity for fashionable women. At its center is a brilliant cut diamond, surrounded by smaller diamonds arranged in geometric patterns. The ring is set in platinum, a metal prized for its strength and ability to highlight delicate filigree and architectural detail. Designed to dazzle under electric lighting, it was the perfect accessory for evening events, dinner parties, and social gatherings.
Value on this at auction would be right around $2,000.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Great.
This jewelry belonged to my mother and to my father, who were good friends with a man named Antonio Pineda, who is a Mexican silversmith. And he's quite well renowned, but the interesting part is that this is all gold jewelry rather than silver, and he is really noted for the silver jewelry.
And what connection did your mother and father have with Antonio?
They were very, very good friends, and they even owned the first house that he had built in Tasco, Mexico.
Now, did they purchase these pieces from him?
Yes,
Do you have any idea what they might have paid?
I have absolutely no idea.
Antonio Pineda was an apprentice of William Spratling, who is the master silversmith of Tasco sterling Mexican jewelry. And Antonio went another route. He opened his own business in 1941. And by 1950, he was using a trademark of Antonio underneath the crown.
Antonio Pineda was an internationally acclaimed Mexican modernist silversmith. celebrated for his bold architectural designs. A leading figure in the Taxco school of silversmithing, he helped define a distinct national identity in silver and jewelry design. Although initially renowned for his silver work, Pineda also created striking gold pieces that reflected his sculptural style and deep respect for Mexican craftsmanship and motifs. On display is a gold ring featuring 2 blue stones, a natural Australian sapphire paired with a man-made sapphire, a combination commonly found in Mexican jewelry. Another ring showcases a large smoky quartz set in gold, typical of mid-20th century design. A necklace in Pineda's signature style is also exhibited. It does not encircle the full neck, ending instead with a pearl, and features an emerald pendant accented with rubies, all set in 14-karat gold. Finally, a pair of cufflinks highlights Pineda's mastery of form and color, set with gold citrines, square-cut stones, and green beryl. Pineda's works exemplify Mexico's rich heritage of metalworking, while appealing to collectors worldwide with their artisanal elegance and modernist vision.
On a retail level, in a very good jewelry store, this necklace would be valued at around $3,500.
Very nice.
The citrine cufflinks, about $2,500.
I'm surprised.
The ring with the Australian sapphire, $2,800. Ka-ching, we're going up.
Yes, we're going.
The smoky quartz ring, about $1,800. And the green beryl cufflinks, about $2,200.
This is phenomenal.
Your total comes to $12,800.
I think I better put it in the bank.
So what happened in '96?
We won the World Championship, and that was the result, a beautiful ring.
Do you wear it all the time?
I wear it all the time. The baseball was acquired at a baseball card show. This gentleman had 3 baseballs. He had a Mickey Mantle baseball, he had a Ted Williams baseball, and he had a Lou Gehrig baseball.
So were they all decorated like this with this funky writing and the pictures on them?
He was an ex-umpire, and he had hand-printed those himself. Unfortunately, I didn't get his name. I wished I would have. But he had 3 of them. He was an older gentleman, and he told me that he was selling them because he knew that he'd have much longer to live, and he wanted somebody that loved the baseball to have them.
The New York Yankees have stood as one of Major League Baseball's most iconic franchises since the 1920s, with championship rings serving as enduring symbols of team success, prestige, and individual recognition. By the mid-20th century, these rings had become highly collectible artifacts of baseball history, often featuring the team logo, the championship year, and a combination of diamonds and precious metals, features evident in the ring on display. During the same era, George Sosnack, renowned for his dynamic sports illustrations, captured the energy and precision of baseball in his artwork. His illustrated baseballs, frequently depicting player likenesses or team motifs, became popular collectibles, reflecting both the artistry and growing fandom surrounding the sport in post-war America. Together, the Yankees championship ring and Sosnack illustrated baseball represent 2 complementary facets of baseball culture. One commemorates achievement on the field, while the other celebrates the artistry, excitement, and devotion of its fans.
You're going to insure it. I'd have you insure it for probably about $10,000. Now, the baseball, I've seen a number of these sold. If I was going to put an auction estimate on it, it would be $8,000 to $12,000.
That amazes me. It amazes me. That's wonderful.
If I was going to put an insurance value on it, I'd put $20,000 on it. So I have to say, Les, it's a pretty good trade.
That's a lot of money for me. That's wonderful.
So she went and looked at it and was interested. She went home and told Granddaddy that there was a ring at the jeweler that she would like to have. Granddaddy looked at her and said, "It's not your birthday, it's not our anniversary, and it's not Christmas. I am not buying you a diamond cocktail ring."
Oh, but what did he do next?
Well, the next morning at the breakfast table, Granddaddy asked her if she was going to the club for lunch. And she said, yes, she was. And he tossed this across the table to her and said, well, here's something for you to wear.
That's a good man.
I think so.
The story is perfect, and it could be Constance Bennett's. And this is the clipping on that you brought in saying that it might be Constance Bennett because she was in town at that time. I have sold many pieces of Constance Bennett jewelry over the years, and they've all been authenticated.
Okay.
This particular diamond ring is what we call a bullet shape.
The bullet-shaped diamond ring, sometimes referred to as a torpedo or navette-inspired design, exemplifies Cartier's exploration of sculptural, modernist forms during the early to mid-20th century. Renowned for combining bold geometry with exceptional gemstone craftsmanship, Cartier created rings that were simultaneously architectural and elegant. This example features a single elongated white diamond, cut to evoke a streamlined, pointed bullet silhouette. The form conveys speed, precision, and elegance, reflecting the era's fascination with mechanization and streamlined design. Its platinum setting is expertly crafted to showcase the stone's shape while ensuring structural integrity. Today, Cartier bullet-shaped diamond rings are highly prized for their distinctive form, geometric clarity, and impeccable craftsmanship.
But a ring like this today in this market could easily sell for somewhere between $15,000 and $20,000.
Oh, how wonderful. That's great.
I don't know what your grandfather paid for it, but whatever it was, it's more money than he did.
Well, I think so.
And we don't know what the emerald was worth when it was traded.
Well, this is worth a lot to me. I really appreciate it.
Wear it in good health.
Thank you, I will.
I inherited the ring from my grandmother, and she received it as a gift from my grandfather. She passed away about 3 years ago.
And you got it?
And I got the ring. It's just a beautiful piece. I know she treasured it.
Now, you know it's a diamond engagement ring.
Yes.
Right? When did your grandmother get this ring?
Sometime not long after World War II.
This happens to be a Deco mounting, and in that time they used to call it a square stone, 4 sides equal. If you look at the baguettes on the side, they are tapered. So that denotes a Deco. And they still make them today, but the idea is it's a true Deco mounting, and it's platinum. This particular shape, they don't call it square cut anymore. They don't call it an emerald cut anymore. There's a new terminology out, which is very hot and very desirable in the East Coast. They call it an azure cut.
The Asher cut, developed by the Asher brothers of Amsterdam in 1902, became celebrated in the early 20th century for its distinctive square shape, deep step facets, and hall of mirrors optical effect. By the 1920s, it had emerged as a hallmark of elegant, modern jewelry, perfectly aligned with the geometric sensibilities of the Art Deco era. Early Asher-cut diamonds often feature slightly higher crowns and more delicate proportions than later versions, qualities evident in this showcased ring. Set in platinum, a metal prized for its strength and understated reflectivity, the diamond weighs 5.5 carats, exemplifying the transition from Edwardian delicacy to Art Deco precision. Asher-cut diamond rings remain iconic, bridging the refinement of Edwardian design with the bold geometry of the early 20th century.
At auction, a ring like this could easily go anywhere from about $30,000 to maybe $45,000. If we get a clean certificate on it, it can go over $50,000. Okay? So.
Wow.
Well, this ring belonged to my grandmother, and she purchased it from one Emily von Blankendorf in 1935 for $500. And the idea was Emily had fallen on hard times, and she needed some money, and my grandmother was able to help her out with the idea that she could buy the ring back when she got back on her feet again. Eventually, I found a letter that said, "My star has fallen and it will never happen. So the ring is yours to keep for good." The story I heard was Emily was the niece of the ambassador to Tsarist Russia, and the ring was a gift from the Tsar and his wife.
It's an American setting.
Okay.
1935 is still hard in the Depression, even though we're climbing out of it. We're climbing out of it very slowly. Really, it's the Second World War that brings us out of the Depression.
By the mid-1930s, jewelry design had fully embraced Art Deco aesthetics, marked by geometric forms, bold color contrasts, and streamlined elegance. Purple sapphires, a rare variety of corundum that range from violet to deep lavender, were prized for their unusual hue and jewel-like brilliance, offering a distinctive alternative to traditional blue sapphires. Rings from this period typically feature a central purple sapphire, cut in cushion, oval, or Marquise shapes, selected for clarity and rich color saturation. Diamond accents often surround the sapphire in geometric arrangements, enhancing both color and brilliance, while the platinum mounting reflects the era's preference for light-reflective modern metals. These rings were worn as symbols of refined taste and fashion-forward style, embodying a period of global artistic influence and innovation. Today, early 20th century purple sapphire rings are highly collectible, celebrated for their rare color, meticulous craftsmanship, and quintessential Art Deco elegance.
A 13-carat untreated, strongly potentially untreated purple sapphire of this quality of cut, this quality of clarity. As a retail price, this piece of jewelry can be worth between $60,000 and $120,000.
My goodness.
This was my grandmother's jewelry. She and my grandfather came to America in 1939. They left Italy. They were Italian Jews, and they left from the persecution of the Jews from Mussolini. And my grandmother was pregnant with my mom, and she wore a fur coat and lined the fur coat with the jewelry in their travels. They didn't have traveler's checks then, so.
They just had jewels and fur coats.
Yes, yes.
And do you remember her wearing this at all?
I think that one of the rings was her wedding ring. I believe that was her wedding ring. And the other ones, no, I don't recall.
Okay. Well, this is a great collection of jewelry from the 1920s. So it's a great collection of Art Deco jewelry. None of it's marked, but it was probably manufactured in Europe, maybe in Italy.
After World War I, society embraced a new spirit of modernity, glamour, and technological progress. Jewelry evolved in tandem, moving away from the soft curves of the Edwardian and Art Nouveau eras, and toward bold geometry, clean lines, and striking contrasts. This collection of Art Deco jewelry reflects the defining features of one of the most influential design movements in modern jewelry. The brooch, a classic bar pin, centers on a combination of step-cut and emerald-cut diamonds, totaling approximately 3 carats. Another highlight is a necklace set entirely with old European-cut diamonds, including 5 knife-edge drops, a signature element of Art Deco style. The collection also includes 2 platinum and diamond rings, featuring old European-cut diamonds that, together, weigh roughly 3 carats. Rounding out the group is a pair of diamond earrings weighing about 2 carats. Their stylistic details suggest they were made just before the Art Deco period fully emerged. Today, Art Deco jewelry is prized for its fusion of exceptional craftsmanship, innovative design, and the cultural forces that reshaped the early 20th century.
If this came up for auction today, I would expect that the whole group would bring at least $30,000.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's extraordinary. I didn't expect it.